Ba-doop-ba-doo!
Wow, there's no Matt here.
He hasn't been here for a while. I think he hates me. News at 11.
Well, they should put some clothes on then.
Here we go. Ba-doop-ba-doo. With a Jane theory up in his house. Backing in, backing out. I put you back in. Someone kicked you out, Jane.
I wasn't in, was I?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see.
Watch this new beginning, Jane. Watch the new beginning. Look at those people. I don't see a Raging Rhino. Is there a Raging Rhino?
Yeah.
Oh, to the left, maybe?
Left, yeah.
Okay. What a good job this guy did. Even in After Dark.
So cool.
Might have to take me out of the top left and put a Raging in there. Oh, there's Raging right behind me. Look at me. I love being in the garbage can.
That is so funny.
Culture.
Fucking my wife's mouth. I'm going to, okay?
Whoa, that was dirty. Hey, everybody. Let me take that off. There we go. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of The Dump. How are you beautiful people doing? Let's say hi to the panel before we check in on that beautiful, beautiful chat. We have the lovely Jane Theory. How are you, Jane?
Hello. I'm great. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you here. Happy to have you here. And then we also have, that was awkward, I'm sorry. Then we also have Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Please restore your seats to the fully upright position and watch out for the guinea pigs that are coming through to take off your toes.
And we have one of the McCabes. We have Sam.
Hey everyone, good to see you all. I'm just glad to be here. Thanks for the invite. I'm actually on mid-semester break for the next couple of weeks, so it's wonderful, and I'm glad to be here.
Always welcome. One of you McCabes is always welcome because we have our Aussie Phil with Mr. Grant Gregory.
Hello, I'm one of the non-McCabe Australians. Nice to meet everyone.
There's only a couple allowed, okay? And you guys made
true.
the cut. You McCabe should be proud of yourselves. It's Mr. Grant Gregory. It is any one of those crazy Aussies that are coming back with their show.
Ooh.
We need to talk about that. I'm excited to hear that. But Raging Rhino has become a Saturday staple on this show. That's Jane is back as a Saturday. I'm just making it. She can't say no now. Staple. Mr. Grant Gregory. We also have the beautiful Mark with the C. And look at that guinea pig. Is there a nugget? What's that next to it?
Oh, that's his treats and stuff.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like a baby guinea. Wow, that did not sound right.
Starting off with the racism already.
I know, you got to start off right. So we got Elihu, who we were talking with in a DM, wants to know about this white super that is in the title. There is an article. We'll read it. You can agree or disagree, but the beauty of my chat is you're allowed to speak your mind. Just be respectful of everybody in there. Gap Stargate, hail to all, hail all. I like that. One man show, not much Star Wars on today's show, so you could stick around. He can't stand it that we talk so much about it. James Hayes, hey Sporking News, whenever you show up. Oh, that was a dig. The guest host and co-host, along with all of you golden folks in the chat. I hope that you're having a great day down with botulism. Who else do we got here? We got myself. We got the Time Prophet. What's up, my friend? Can't stay tonight. Okay, well, thank you for being here. Women at Disney said Sporking was bad. That could be true. Zaz, who has a channel and is a good dude. Please check out Zaz's channel. Zaz, I think you're a moderator. Put your link in the chat. Mutant Bam Hammers here. Makini Draws, who we are trying to get past 1,000. Makini with a super sticker. I should probably look at that. View on YouTube. Hold on one second, Mock. Thank you, my friend. And it is a my hero. My hero. Thanks, buddy. Oh, I missed the Toxic Man Flu members chat, which I don't know why StreamYards has not fixed this yet, but members get milestone chats that should highlight on YouTube at green. His is a 20-month one that says, I only buy memberships to shows I am actually on. Did I not send it to you, Tox? Oh shit. Can someone send Tox the link, please? But it doesn't show up in StreamYards, so it's very aggravating.
But for all the wrong reasons, the Academy now investigating Will Smith.
You heard it here first. Darius Münchausen for $1.49. He's got popcorn at the ready. And I think there might have been another one of those darn green ones. So hold on one second, because I think I just passed it. Yeah. Darius Münchausen for 9 months says, Hail Sporkers, Sporkerz, and non-spoonenaries. I can't wait to make that shirt. That shirt is going to be so good. Oh my God, a Chupacabra. I love that name. I don't know if I've ever seen you in the chat before, but I freaking love that name. The skulls of his enemies. Who else do we have? Forbidden Ruin is always up in here. The lovely Sherry. Red Moniker? Is it Moniker or Monarch?
Monarch.
Yeah, Red Monarch has a great Instagram. You got to check it out. Soul Assassin, of course, is here. One of my best mods. I have some of the best mods in the game. I will, because they're also modrotics too, a lot of them. So I thank you guys for all the hard work you guys put in. But let's get to some stories here, people. What was that, Culture?
What was what?
Was that you playing something in the background?
Not on purpose.
Not okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, Will Smith is, under investigation by the Academy. The
Right.
Academy notified Will Smith and members that there would be a vote on whether or not he would remain a member of the Academy.
And
There's a lot of things coming up that are going to be weird.
and you still believe, though, it is not a real slap?
Hey, I'm willing to accept that I could be wrong, but I've
Right.
seen that thing. It looked I would not stand there and let somebody strike me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The only reason I said it could be real is they are actually friendly, and I think that was the last thing he thought was about to happen. The way Will was walking up with that Will Smith kind of like, I'm going to show you, like, I'm going to get you good with a zinger
But he didn't.
instead of a slap.
Well,
didn't-
you know what, Scott? I mean, the one thing I would say about that is I don't know if you've ever watched those professional slap fights that they have. One of the things that a lot of those guys do right before a slap happens is they kind of lean forward and lean into it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing that Rock was doing right before Smith walked up.
And I know that, but my counter, and Jane, I'll go next, is that a lot of the time, I think he was leaning up like, what are you going to say? Like a friend messing with another friend. What do you think, Jane?
I think it's real because of Chris's reaction after. Because he seemed genuinely shocked.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed kind of hurt by it, actually.
Yeah.
Just taking a, because even the way Will was reacting from his seat,
Mm-hmm.
and Chris saying, "Look, I'm not gonna say her name," like calm
Yep.
down. It's like he was trying to diffuse the situation.
Yeah. I think he was so taken back by it. Like he didn't,
Yeah.
there was a split second there where I think he was about to make a joke and he goes, okay, all right. Like people in his ear and stuff, but we could all, I mean, it's the beauty of it. We could agree, we could disagree. That's the beauty of what we do here in YouTube. You don't have to believe what our echo chamber people think we are, an echo chamber, because look at, Culture thinks it was just a staged bit that may have, now taken a life of its own, maybe. Culture.
Yeah. I mean, that's my perspective. Again, I like I said. I mean, when he was walking up to the stage, Chris Rock addressed him as Richard,
Mm-hmm.
as in
Yeah.
Richard,
Yeah.
the thing he was going to win an award for later in the evening,
Right.
and which nobody saw, by the way. I mean, nobody
No.
saw.
I did at least.
But
More people saw that than Coda.
I don't even know what Coda
interest
is.
in it.
I don't even know what Coda is.
I was actually more interested in that, but I never got around to watching it.
What is it about? Does anybody know?
I don't even remember.
I
It
don't
just looked
I don't even think
interesting.
the Academy knows.
They always pick these obscure movies.
Yeah, well, I mean, when your domestic earnings are 15 million and your global earnings are a little over 30, and the film costs 50 million to make.
How much did it win?
Success.
I mean, I'm sorry. How much did it make?
It made 15 million domestically, a little
Wow,
over
that's
30
it?
globally, and it cost 50 million to make.
Wow, man. All right, so Coda is a 2021 coming-of-age comedy drama film written and directed by Sian Heater, an English-language remake of the 2014 French Belgium film La Familia Bel Air or something. Bel Air. It stars Amelia Jones as the titular child of deaf adults and only hearing member of a deaf family who attempts to help her family struggling fishing business. Okay. No, all right. Yeah, never heard of it until we were talking about it Saturday. Mr. McCabe, what do you think about the slap?
I'm unsure. See, I've heard some things. I've got no sources, by the way, so feel free to contradict me. But I've heard some stuff about. First of all, Will was laughing initially at the joke, and then apparently off Jada's look, she gave him a look to suggest that she was, hurt and not happy with it, shall we say?
Right.
Then he reacted and did what he did. So I'm unsure what's going on here, whether it's fake, whether it's real, but that's just what I've heard. So it wouldn't surprise me if initially it was, taken in good fun, but then something happened and it wasn't so great.
Right.
But that's just, no sources here, by the way. So
what do you think, Culture?
Point of personal privilege,
please. You have the floor.
Since we're going to talk about woke activism.
Yep.
The situation is even further complicated by the fact that just a few moments earlier, 90 minutes to 2 hours earlier, depending upon who you listen to, Jada Pinkett Smith came out and said, it doesn't bother me. I don't care what anybody thinks about my bald head.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
That's why it was so weird. Like, there had to have been something else going on in his head when he did that, because I
don't really get it either. I mean, because say what you will about Jada as a person, she can actually rock the bald head. I mean, it works just fine.
She has for a while, and
exactly.
not only that, but these two were friends. Like, he had to know that he wasn't trying to insult her or her or him or be disrespectful or anything.
But that's why he thought he could get away with it. If you're gonna do it, you do it to the little comedian up on stage who you're friends with. You can say, "Nah, it's all right, we're boys. It's all good."
It's just
so out of character.
Effect. Yeah, that was the thing. Like Jane, do you think? I think Will has been going through a lot this past year, and maybe even longer than that, bottling everything up, trying to be the perfect. And tell me if I'm wrong by saying this, but the perfect black actor. You know what I mean? Like, not to offend anyone.
Yeah, inoffensive.
Yeah, that white America will love.
And
trying to be an example and all that. But I also, just real quick, I do think that he had been working so hard to curate this perfect image, perfect guy, perfect family. His wife was derailing that,
Big time.
like significantly.
Well, in all fairness, it was the wife's boyfriend that was derailing it.
Yeah. But I think if you go through all of that and it seems like, whatever is happening with him internally or with her is just eroding it and eroding him personally and emotionally and his image, who knows? Maybe that was it. Maybe he just said, you know what? I'm done. Just snapped. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking, and
it's so weird.
I have to give Katina Martin credit, because we on Saturday, and maybe other people know this already, we could not figure out who the white guy was he was talking to. A lot of people said his publicist, this and that. It turned out, she let me know it was Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper, Tyler Perry, and Denzel Washington, like, they believed it was real, like, even if it was fake Culture, it's taken a life of its own, where I don't think he would admit it now if it was.
But see, this is the thing. Would it be fake? Like, this is the thing when people are talking about Will and, sort of their, not just criticizing what he did, but taking it in a more cynical direction.
Yeah.
It's not, Alec Baldwin. It's not Ezra Miller.
I think this is out of character, and he wouldn't do
so
this.
Different.
Right.
From anything he's ever been known for.
Right. It's not Mel Gibson. It's not.
Why would he just suddenly even agree to this?
At the Oscars. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
My thoughts around this are exactly one of the things that actually started to trend when his name was trending at the same time. It's a word. It is not something that a male, a prideful male, would want associated with his name. A hashtag like cuck is a problem for a prideful male.
Why the hell did they tell everybody then? Was it because she got quiet?
I think she was the first one to start telling people, and she didn't just tell people, like she rubbed it in his face.
Yeah, like
she has.
Does anybody have that?
Oh, he's not a victim. He could leave. He could divorce her.
Right.
But some people don't believe in divorce.
Right. That's true.
Some people feel like they have to maintain their family, and I remember them talking about how Will is one of those people. He always wanted a traditional family type marriage and relationship and all that.
As traditional
so maybe
as you
he
can
just
get.
won't. Maybe he just can't leave.
Right.
Because of whatever he believes in. I don't know.
Right. Culture, finish your thought. I apologize for cutting you off.
No. Jane got there. I mean, first of all, you can never have, it's very hard. I'm not going to say never, but it's very hard to have a normal relationship in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't imagine. I mean, you make a choice when you become a public figure. You've accepted a mantle that means that you won't have a whole lot of privacy in your life. And now because of social media, you have even less. And here is a person who has, been out there just basically destroying Will's version of a family, and talking about it, these types of things on her Facebook live show and shit like that. So I just, like I said, could he have snapped because of that? Because again, those types of situations where somebody acts out of character usually are, bolstered by outside factors, and possibly there was enough outside factor here to,
Well, what, Culture, one of the things that kind of gets me, there was a few red flags when this whole thing happened. Number one, after this happens and he slaps him, there is a brief second where Will turns around and he's got a smile on his face, first off. And no sooner did he go back to his seat that Chris Rock is talking about, this is going to be the most watched moment in Oscars history. Right. He's already going with that narrative. And what happens right after that? All these news sites start picking up and they start running with that narrative as well. That's why I kind of wonder if this wasn't staged. But were they in on it the whole time? I mean, the other question I ask is, who slaps like that? I've seen women in the WWE put on a more impressive slap than that. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It was a fast one. Go ahead.
He is trained. He's a trained fighter.
Because that's it. Regardless of whether or not it's real, it's like Twitter, right? Most of us here, we've seen the absurdity on Twitter, right? Sometimes we can't tell what's parody, what's real, what's satire, what's not. Right. But in this case, very much in this case, it hardly matters whether or not it's real, because people who are fools are going to act as if it is real, regardless of whether or not it is. So they're going to act as if it's real, and they're going to run with that narrative because it suits them. Look at this white super crap, for example. They're just going to run with it. Regardless of whether or not it was staged, they're going to run with whatever they're going to run with. So it hardly matters.
Well said. What's well said. Well, we do have an article. So, because, and I, to be honest with people out there, like we talked about earlier, Tommy and I had a discussion with somebody in a DM. Not going to get into what we discussed, but I don't read the articles. I just look at the headline and I say, God, that might be a good one. And tonight is a definite bounding into comics night. That's why I put it as a hashtag on this video, because it's all them. So woke activists blame Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on white supreme pizza. So I'm going to be honest. Don't know what this person said. Don't know if it will actually be what, but for me, bounding into comics doesn't usually take too many leaps. They usually report pretty fairly. Yes, they're more conservative, for at least me looking at it. They're more conservative leaning, but they don't make up stuff in my mind. I don't know if anybody has a different view on that.
I saw some of the posts on social media. they made great leaps and bounds as the day went on to blame it on these big social issues and all this other crap. Everybody had their think piece. They had their think pieces ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a different take. I blame Will.
Oh, wow.
He's the one that did it. Yeah, he's the one that did it. And
individual
everyone,
responsibility?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
And everyone that says it's someone else's fault is they're just full of shit. They want their moment to jump on this hype train with it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Come on, ride the train. Let's ride it.
They want to seem so much smarter than they are.
Yes.
There are a lot of pseudo-intellectuals, Jane, nowadays, I think.
I may be one of them. So I'm going to read a little bit. Let's see what it says. It was only a matter of time before a black actor slapping a black comedian would be blamed on white people. This time it took less than 48 hours. I don't know about that, but okay.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I mean, they went from toxic masculinity, black on black crime, BLM, white supremacy.
Yep.
Now, do you fall? Let me ask you, Gene.
Next week it'll be an anti-LGBT slap.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing that wasn't represented here.
Oh, it's coming.
It has to be coming.
Well, Chris Rock is a small man. Some people would even call him a little bit effeminate. So
right.
So.
I have to ask you, Jane. I have seen some black women, at least one. I'm not going to say some, but one black woman come out and applaud Will for defending his wife. And
quite a few.
Right, because they are not used to seeing a black male defend their woman instead of like feed into it. And I actually had to take a step back and say, okay, violence really for something like this is not something you should do. But I understand the idea of defending, because I would defend my wife if someone I didn't know that well started ribbing into her. But see, that's it's Chris Rock, they're friends. Do you agree with any of that?
Out of context, you would have to take it out of this situation. But I've said before, I'm not going to disparage a man for defending his family, his wife, however he sees fit. I think this was extreme,
right?
Because you clearly knew that he wasn't attacking her. But I think in terms of what you're getting off of Twitter and Black Twitter in particular, which Ryan brought up in his video, it is partly that. I think part of what you're seeing are just like what Malcolm X talked about, Black women not being defended and all of this. That's it. They don't see it. And so, and then take with that too, Hollywood continuing to try to make dark-skinned women in particular more masculine and all of that, making them all strong and loud and they can beat up a man and all that sort. So this kind of counters that narrative a little bit. And I think that they saw that, and that's partly why they're defending him so quickly. But I think more so why you see Black Twitter defending him is because he has done so much good in terms of his quote unquote representation and what he's put out there in terms of his image. So I think that they see what he did was wrong.
Yes. But
aren't going to let people just completely drag him.
And Will Smith has taken a lot of shit since the 80s about, the whole Uncle Tom moniker and stuff like that. So the man has taken his fair share of disrespect. It was crazy that this was the hill he died on. That's the only thing I was so shocked about. If, again, I believe it was a real slap. If this was the hill he died on, that to me was something broke in him. Something broke. I think so too. The more I look at it too, and how he, if you go through it scene by scene, he was laughing at the joke. Yes. Yeah. And then she wasn't. And she wasn't, but she wasn't annoyed. She seemed more annoyed. She was annoyed, or angry than her. It's not like he looked over and she was just in tears. Right. You know what I mean? Yes, yes. Because that could trigger. I could see that triggering a man to do something, but her just being mad, he sees her mad every day, probably.
Oh, right. At least, yeah. I mean, he wakes up in the morning, she's pissed off at him. I mean, come on. Right.
I don't know.
Why are you still alive?
Why are you still breathing? Why are you not Tupac?
Now here's my Tupac thing real quick. If this thing was staged, okay, that means that all these people probably had little earpieces and stuff like that, which a lot of those people do at those award shows. Well, definitely Chris Rock. They have little cues and everything like that. Oh, well, get up and walk. So what if the cue to say, okay, our ratings are bad. They cued him. she heard it and looked over him disapprovingly of him going through with this act. There's another one. There's another one to think about.
Yeah, no, I like that. The one thing the only reason I would say this was not fake was the swearing at the Oscars. I don't give a crap. Will Smith, I get he is like a loud dude and this and that, but he also, his brand is family friendly. His brand would not be dropping F-bombs at the Oscars.
But the family friendly goes out the window when you let other dudes nail your wife and you just take it.
But he denied it, though. That's the thing. He has been denying it. She has been telling people it's happening.
Yeah, it's so messed up.
He is insisting, as of this year, that there was never any infidelity in his marriage. And she has been saying the exact opposite.
Yeah, they got to get on the same page with that.
Toxic man.
Yeah, Toxic Man Flu, who I love and is one of our Saturday panelists for $5 and a channel member. Thank you, buddy. If you want to be a channel member, please. You don't get anything extra, but I love you for it. Do any of you know Will Smith personally? No. Then all you know about him is what his team wanted you to know.
I would push back against that a little bit because we saw him start in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him before there was a team, when it was just him and a bunch of other kids that came up together, Chris being one of them.
Yep.
When they first started, I mean, there was a group of them that had just started.
Yep.
Their acting, their music, and all this stuff. And we were fans before they got famous.
But Jane, to a degree, you got to remember too that these people are what? They're paid actors. They're paid pretenders. They're adult pretenders.
I mean,
would anybody have believed like 20 plus years ago that Bill Cosby would have done some of the things that he was accused of doing?
I would say
anybody
yes.
have believed
I would say yes. But you know
people
why?
People knew.
Because he made jokes about it.
Yes, and people knew.
It was in his comedy routine that he drugged women.
Back in the 70s, yes. Which is even sicker that people knew this was going on. That blows my mind about Cosby. And then they decide to make him America's dad, which even blows my mind even more. But, okay, real or not, people did react. So, while rational people like ourselves are discussing, free speech and comedy, the right to not be assaulted when you say something, a series of woke culture writers are coming out of the woodwork to blame the incident on systematic racism and inequality. According to them, the biggest victim of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was black women. Strap in, this is going to get bumpy. All right. Let's start with Taya Barrow, a self-described culture writer who recently wrote an opinion piece for The Guardian entitled "White Outrage About Will Smith's Slap is Rooted in Anti-Blackness. It's Inequality in Plain Sight." Just that title.
I saw that one. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, it was full of shit.
That to me is a racist comment. If you go into it, I hate when we lump outrage. There are people that are upset. There are idiots that take it to the next level, but most people are just like, wow, that Will Smith actually did that. Like, I can't believe it. And, if I did that, I would have been arrested. Will Smith, because he's not just because he's black, because he's a megastar, gets away with it. Like a lot of actors do. I think that's what people were saying. Have you seen crazy white folk reacting to this with anti-blackness?
Anti-blackness?
Yes, rooted in anti-blackness.
You definitely saw some of the racist comments come out because it was trending. Like blacks was trending,
right?
But because like I said, it came in waves. Like if you were just sitting watching Twitter, it was just escalating all day, and you did see the wave of the anti-black stuff a little while.
I wouldn't doubt it. You would, and on the flip side, seeing the anti-white,
that's what came after. It came up immediately after that.
Right.
It was insane.
People get triggered.
They were getting triggered, and then
Stop it, Jane. You're triggering me.
But I think it was happening at the same time because these articles were being written.
Right.
Yes.
And at the same time, all this was happening. It just sort of it came in waves over the course of the day.
Right. So in her piece, she talks about how she is bothered by the downright racist reaction of white people who are attacking Will Smith for his actions. In order to make her argument, Barrow cites the comments made by two Jewish celebrities, producers Judd Apatow, who is a comedian, and radio host Howard Stern, who is nuts, as the basis of her claim. So,
Blaming the Jews.
Yeah. Sorry, man. We have a Jew on. Yeah, well, we have a Jew on the panel. Thank you for being here. He's an Australian Jew too. That's crazy. I thought those were like unicorns. Apatow declared in a deleted tweet that Smith's actions were pure out of control rage and violence. And Stern later chimed in on his radio show, comparing Smith's action to former President Donald Trump, calling them the same person, which we played on our Saturday show, which we all said he's a freaking nut. He's a nut for saying that. Or my Monday show, whichever one I did. He's a lunatic. So
Apatow were in Australia.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? Judd Apatow says he could have killed him. That's pure out of control rage and violence.
See, that's the extreme nuts that came.
It is. It is. I mean, you know, I get what he's saying. Like something as stupid as you pushing somebody, they could fall back, hit their head. You know, like that is the extreme. Really, what he did was embarrass the shit out of him.
That's. I mean, if you came down to a bar fight in the South. Mm-hmm. Then you'll see where people could almost kill each other.
Right. I've been in some in Pennsylvania. Those people are nuts. What were you going to say? Somebody else had something to say?
I mean, this is the thing. This is now forever going to be indicative. Anytime Chris Rock is mentioned, this is what's going to happen. Everyone's talking about Will like it's basically him. He's the one that did it. But this is Chris Rock's legacy from now on. He's going to be the guy that went out there and got slapped for better or worse. However he handled it, it is indicative. He could literally kill cancer tomorrow and stop World War III, and then everyone would still be playing the clip that he got slapped.
He cures cancer. They'll say that Chris Rock took a slap at cancer or something like that.
Yeah. I would say this, depending on the generation, like for me, Chris Rock is cemented where he is. His stand-up back in the 90s was fire. So like to me, I wouldn't. Yes, this happened and I'll always remember it. But him as a stand-up comedian, like after Eddie Murphy kind of disappeared and there was a vacuum, and Chris Rock was the one that stepped in before Chappelle came. He was that intermediate guy who actually was fire. His stand-up was fire for that era. So I can never like just think of him as the guy who got slapped.
Yeah, but I mean that's one thing. But I think this is the thing: 99.9% of people in the world won't think the same way that you will.
Right?
It's ubiquitous.
I get that.
It's Jim Carrey. I'm agreeing with Jim Carrey. I feel like a fucking moron, but he put it perfectly with it, like. And the fact of the matter
what did he say? Is that in this article? Because I've heard
everyone only cares about what was going through Will Smith's mind and everything like that, and it's all about Will Smith's perspective. Well, what about Chris Rock's one?
Embarrassed, right? Like think about what he.
Dude, his brother is freaking livid about it.
Wasn't there somebody who did in fact orchestrate something very similar in the past? They said that they had done it.
Yeah, we did. They were attacked by people wearing MAGA hats, right?
No, I'm talking about the comedians or something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Everyone thought it was real. And
you do have, yeah.
Well, there was that thing.
People don't even remember.
Jerry the King Lawler and Andy Kaufman changed.
Oh, yeah.
That was staged, and everybody thought that was 100% real, even though Jerry Lawler, in his own words, did say he did actually smack the hell out of Andy Kaufman.
But it was planned.
He didn't like him. Yeah, but it was planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
50 years ago, like.
Yeah, time will pass and people will move on.
Right, but everyone remembers that slap too, that knows Andy Kaufman. But Kaufman was the king of never breaking character. The dude was amazing, and Jim Carrey kind of follows suit on that. Let's read a little bit more. Barrow's mind, Will Smith is just a black man who was defending his black wife. And he's a man defending his wife. Okay, I get it. She believes that the outrage is not warranted. I disagree. Anybody else? Like, I commend him for defending his wife, but the thing is you're an actor. That is a comedian. This is known. People get roasted. You are a big target because of who you are and what, how out there you are in the public. Like, this is not the place. Like, this was a bar and some random dude said something. I can understand defending your wife.
but there was nothing to defend.
I get that.
That's the thing. Everyone. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, he said something about his wife. Yeah, how much shit has she said in the past and everything? Like, the stuff that he said in 2016 was way worse.
Yeah.
And anything like that. And they laughed about that. They thought that was hilarious.
Can I just say real quick, and then you guys can go, if he worked where I work, like we have a saying, leave your feeling, because you're only allowed to have one, at the gate, because when you're there, like, the only thing you're not allowed to attack, and people still do, is people's kids. Other than that, nothing's off the table. And it's just, you have to learn how to either come back even funnier than that person, be witty about it, shrug it off, walk it off. You know, like, you learn to deflect those things. Will Smith has had decades to do that. I really think he had a bit of a break if it was not a stage slap.
I am surprised that people haven't addressed sort of taken a different angle with this, with the think pieces. I was waiting on this one. Because one of the things that I've heard a lot of people saying is not so much that he was wrong for defending his wife. Like, they disagree with how he chose to do it. Mm-hmm. But what I've been seeing more so is the bringing up that she's cheating on him.
Right.
And that she didn't have honor to defend. Like,
oh, wow.
It's not so much he was defending her honor. Yeah. Right. That's how I think. But it's interesting that a lot of people have been taking that position that, you know, it's not like she was...
He stuck around, right? But he stuck around, so that's still his wife.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, bad look for him.
I get that. I wouldn't stick around, but what I'm saying is he did. So he is defending the honor of their, whatever he believes is their relationship. And I don't know. I just think that's a weird take. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's into it. I don't know. Real quick, she specifically brings up an incident from 1973 where a Native American actor and activist, Shasheen Littlefeather, accepted the Oscar for Best Actor for Marlon Brando. I remember this, not being alive, but I remember seeing it. Yeah, Littlefeather claimed that John Wayne was waiting backstage to take me off. He had to be restrained by 6 security guards. Wayne told Entertainment Weekly if Brando had something to say, he should have appeared that night and stated his views instead of taking some little unknown girl and dressing her up in an Indian outfit. First of all, John Wayne was like the head of the anti-communist faction of Hollywood. Like, you are not going to disrespect America in front of John Wayne. That's just who he was. And that's what he probably took it as.
I'm confused. What?
Well, I guess John Wayne was upset, at least she says, and he's kind of saying it. He was upset that Marlon Brando didn't come up and say he didn't want the award. He sent this girl up to do it for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a long way around.
Right. So John Wayne being allegedly restrained by security is worse than Smith physically assaulting Chris Rock in front of the world and social media. I don't know about that.
Because, I mean, what was he being restrained from if Brando wasn't there?
I think pulling her off stage. That's all I think.
He wasn't going to do anything to her. I don't think he had a reputation for that.
I don't think he was going to hurt her, but he would have yanked her off the stage.
He was a kind man, mostly. I mean,
yeah.
But see, that would have been out of character for him if he had done something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would say that too. Yeah. Not only does she accuse white people of pearl clutching over a slap because Will Smith is a black man, but she also sets her sights on black people who also have a problem with what Smith did.
But you can turn that around saying that she doesn't have a problem with a black man being slapped. You can literally just turn that straight around to her. So I
love that you keep focusing on that, man. Keep going.
Because she is. I mean, she's saying that he deserved to be slapped for what he said.
Wow.
Because as soon as you can stop someone from saying words, if people are afraid to talk, then you can control them.
Yes,
and that's the whole point. Freedom of speech is one thing, but the freedom of thought and freedom of comedy with it, that's an international thing. There's,
Amen.
I mean,
satire can't die.
Exist. Well, it's going to. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, you're not wrong there, Grant. But I mean, the last group of folks that didn't like comedy. That didn't end well for society or humanity for a while. I mean,
yeah.
We have been some very bad places.
Yeah.
So,
Perfect, Nugan.
Well, but I do think, I mean, there was a time when people used to use the sort of fighting words defense, like you can say what you want, but if you insult somebody's wife or their child or their mother and you're not friends and it's not funny, you could get hit.
Oh yeah, you would. But this is what I'm saying. That's what I was kind of trying to touch on before. But this is at an award show. This is something that every comedian has done since, Don Rickles, like these guys, this is what happens. A comedian comes up at an award show. They are going to roast people. And that was like barely a broil. You know what I mean? Like there was no roast.
He's done it himself. He's done that himself to someone who has alopecia. That's the whole point. Like it's just being blown out of this proportion of this defense. And I don't get it. Everyone's coming up with an excuse to shift the blame from Will to someone else.
I think because they're looking at it at a very superficial, instinctive level, as opposed to saying, it's not even to me, just the fact that he's a comedian. He knew that this guy was not trying to harm or offend or insult his wife.
And he laughed. See, this is the disconnect that I have with it. He laughed at the joke.
Yeah.
He was laughing at the joke. It's only when he looked around, and this is why Bill Maher was 100% right when he was talking to TMZ today.
I missed that.
That this is essentially a master's class in fucking Twitter bullshit, in social media outrage bullshit, in cancel culture bullshit. That's what he was really talking about. Mm-hmm. In that, the guy, he looked around, saw that everybody was laughing except his wife that steps out on him. Yeah. And then he's like, oh well, maybe I shouldn't laugh and I should do something about this now.
Mm-hmm.
But
why would you do that though? Why it doesn't even look like he asked her what was wrong.
That's into the stage. I almost feel like that was the moment where he saw her just do that and he was like, I got to be a man. Like this is my relationship. Like I have to show her that I am. Like I almost felt like there's something way deeper in their relationship, not just cheating. Like there is no respect for him.
Like he's been so emasculated. Probably.
Yes, that he had to show his masculinity. Perfect way of putting it. Yes, that's what I got from it.
And again, that comes down to what I was saying earlier.
Someone make it on. Yeah,
he does not want to be associated with that. A respectful, a man who lives and wants to be prideful and is and respected. Mm-hmm. He does not want to be called a cuck.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this too. Culture is. I'm not saying she did this, Jada, but. There are women out there that, and I dated one when I was younger in my early 20s that like would try like their mouth just start with dudes, like taking it to a level where it's like, I am going to get into a fight because of you, like I almost felt like that look from her and the way he reacted was like, I need to fight for you or you're not going to be happy with me.
Or the women that literally just go, oh, well, I may not have a problem with my man is going to have a problem with it. Go ahead, do something, push you out there.
Show me you're a man. Yeah. Stephen A. Smith, he had an issue with it. He said, totally BS by Will Smith. If his night is ruined because of this, he deserved it. The man has Denzel and Bradley Cooper trying to calm him down for what? A joke about his wife and G.I. Joe? I love that part. Yeah, but he said G.I. Joe. Come on.
No,
the poop was embarrassing. A very, very bad look. Love Will, but not after this BS.
Who won the award, by the way?
For the documentary?
Yeah.
I have no clue. I hope it was somebody good. So Barrow took...
Mama Bear Art Doll said, that look on her face was definitely check him out cheap. And y'all.
That's what I'm saying, right?
That is, you know what? That's probably the truth.
If you don't do something, I'm sleeping with them.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Is that the look? You know what? He's next, Will.
Yeah, he's man.
I would not be surprised if there was a hate fuck in the future. That's all I got to say.
Right?
All I know is he won't be pulling a hair.
Oh.
So Barrow took it to the next level, saying Stephen A. Smith's comments are the result of black people being forced to behave themselves in front of white people, which is so racist. That's so racist.
Yeah, let the black people be savages like they are. Like, what the hell?
Right.
Fucking hell.
Like, you're not supposed to be like that. And Steven, well, anyways, she states.
So I will. Okay.
Yeah.
There is this whole. There's so many issues in the Black community, y'all.
I get that.
One of them is this whole concept of respectability, that you have to just go. I actually think Will may have suffered from this to some degree. Like, you have to be perfect. You have to go above and beyond. Anything you do wrong, it's going to make the whole Black world look bad.
And that's why I asked you that question earlier. Like, he's always Mr. Laugh at any joke. He's always Mr. Big personality. Like, comedians a lot of the times do that.
But it's a problem. That is a problem that Black people need to deal with.
Yeah.
It's not a white people problem. It's you are the problem if you're constantly worried about what other people think of you. That's your problem. You should live to be the best person you can be, understanding that you have flaws, you make mistakes like everybody else. And you don't have to be perfect. But there are some people that that's just how they're raised.
Sorry, Jane. This is precisely why collective mentality is a problem.
It is.
Yeah.
I also believe, like, and Gary, I don't know if Gary would agree with me, but like in a 12-step program, which I think if everyone followed it, life would be better for a lot of people. But
I just don't want to give up drinking, dude.
No. I'm not saying giving up anything. I'm saying, like, the examples you learn through the steps. You don't, just in life in general, you could do it without giving up anything. It is taking inventory of yourself and realizing that no person can make you feel anything. It's how you react to it. It's how you feel. So if someone says something and you get really mad, well, it's not usually it might be what they said, but not the person. It's how it made you feel. It made you think of something that used to be said to you when you were a kid, or, you know what I mean? Like, it is something that you're reacting to. It's not the outside, it's what's inside that matters. And a lot of people forget that. And I teach my kids this all the time. No one can make you feel any way. You have to take control and responsibility for your own actions and how you even react in your own feelings.
Yeah, but
I think wasn't it Eleanor Roosevelt who said no one can make you feel inferior without your consent?
Right.
Exactly.
Man, she's hot.
I think a big problem, though, has been with the rise of social media, because social media is putting all these people on edge where they feel like they have to pander what everybody else's thoughts and feelings are so they don't get canceled or they don't get singled out. I think that's really the biggest problem that you're seeing right now. Everybody's afraid to be exactly who they are and say what they want to say because they think somebody is going to get them.
I just wish, hey, social media people, everybody in the world, guess what? Just realize there's more of us normal people than these bullies that are telling us we have to act a certain way or you will be canceled. Realize that we don't have to cancel them. We just all have to stop listening to them. Yeah. They are the kids, like, they're the people that were in high school that, like, that girl who was like, that's a dumb sweater, and no one wore that type of sweater again. That's who these people are.
Yep. These are the mean girls.
Yes. I kind of want to see what she said about this, though. She said about Stephen A. She says, Black people who have been conditioned to constantly perform the most non-threatening version of themselves in order to retain white approval. The image of a Black man being violent in a space notorious for its overwhelming whiteness must have felt like an abomination. Where I'll counter, and she finishes, it's the Black Hollywood equivalent of being dragged to a corner and told off by your parents for cutting up in public and embarrassing your family.
There were people on Twitter during the racist phase of what was happening. You did see Black people making a lot of those same comments that were frankly racist.
Yeah.
Even against Black people, talking about they're never going to invite us back to the Oscars and all this stuff. And I'm like, y'all, God.
That is so dumb. But, like, my question, and I'm sorry for saying that, but it is. But the idea that white people are scared of oh my God, he's a Black man, he's going to be violent. That's a racist statement towards white people. Like, just because a man is Black doesn't mean I am fearful he's going to be violent. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Craziest thing I've ever heard.
Well,
but Twitter lost its mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just from a different angle. I mean, just from a slightly different angle. I mean, I think it's quite revealing about how everybody's talking about Will and Jada and all of this nonsense, but nobody actually gives a fuck about Chris Rock.
Yeah, except for Mr. Grant Gregory.
It seems to me you get all these takes. the feminist hot takes, the racist hot takes, the activistic hot takes, all of that shit. But does anyone actually give a fuck about Chris? I mean, he was the one who got slapped. And to me, that's quite revealing in a way that everybody just kind of hand waves that this guy has had, fake or not, that this guy has had violence done to him, some manner of violence done to him, and nobody gives a shit.
And I don't know.
I'm telling you why. It's because they feel like what he said was out of line.
Well, that's
you take away the ability of someone to say something, true, and then violence comes in. But that's the problem. They think that okay, if you say something bad, I can hit you without even the realization of going, I'm going to hit you back.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's the thing. And then you get to say the feminist hot take, the whole we don't need men to defend us kind of thing. You think, well, that may or may not be true, but it's like a guy still slapped another guy and nobody gives a fuck about him because, of course, male consent doesn't matter. Violence is okay when it's against other men. Right. This is just from a slightly different angle. Nobody gives a shit. Everybody's talking about Will.
And you're absolutely right.
Talking about Jada. I was like, does anybody give a crap about Chris? I don't think so.
Culture, let me ask you this too. Because I want you to respond to that, but also like Chris Rock, the first thing I thought of was I'd rather have gotten punched than slapped. For me, being slapped by another man, that is just the last thing. I'd rather have you punch me.
Well, look, the only person that acted professionally in this situation, if it wasn't staged, was Chris.
Yes.
Because all he did was, so you feel how you feel about him getting slapped or whatever. And I do. And that's like something that I think that Sam's right. I mean, people should be more cognizant of the actual person that was victimized. Mm-hmm. Okay. And, right now, victim blaming, this isn't actually that, but it's kind of akin to it because we're ignoring the fact that there was a victim here. Mm-hmm. And it's so I see where you're coming from. But, and again, I have remarkable restraint and patience. I mean,
just to kind of clarify a little disclaimer, like regardless of whether or not it was fake, it's still very revealing is all I'm saying.
Can I just say real quick, I was been on that article, not even watching the stream for quite a while now, and I didn't even realize Mr. Toxic Man Flu jumped in. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Fine. I actually, this is such a wonderful topic.
Yes.
I'm so glad that we're discussing this. It's such with high inflation and the impending economic downfall that's coming with hyperinflation
global downfall.
World War III.
The way that our wonderful republic has been taken over by a cabal in DC.
In his opinion,
in my opinion, well, whatever.
Yeah.
They're all my opinions and what they say about opinions.
Right.
But in the midst of all of this stuff that we're facing, to really give a crap about two adult pretenders, they got exactly what they wanted out of this.
Amen.
They did.
Us and a million other people talking about it, meaning everything. Does anybody care about the fake stuff that's going on in Ukulele place?
But I think we also get something out of it because we get a distraction from those real world problems.
Yeah,
I think that's part of it too. That's driving so much attention.
Well, but this wasn't entertainment,
right?
It's something to talk. People are entertained by those memes. I laughed all day.
I worked really hard on the thumbnail today.
You did a great job on the thumbnail, and a couple other people did great jobs sending me super chats. I love you people. Toxic Man Flu. Well, 1 second. Let me just read these, and then you can go, Sam. No, don't be sorry. For $5, he is also a channel member, and on the panel, it is a white person problem too. As a white male from a nuclear family, I have white privilege, and I have no excuse for not being successful. You know what, dude? I am not going to lie. That's a
great way to look at it.
That's a hot take, man, because the idea, like, I have people that they assume you have white privilege. Like, my parents worked their butts off to do what they did, to send like me to a private school. I failed on my own because I'm an idiot and a drug addict. And the idea that I work so hard 7 days, like you guys in the panel know, like I'm always working to support my family. Like white privilege, I must have it. I don't know. But all I can say is that My wife and I work really hard to give our kids the next, the best that we can, because the job of this generation is to make the next one have a better life.
That's right. And this most recent generation didn't get that because they had self-involved parents that, essentially allowed the nanny state to take over their lives and produce a bunch of people who were incapable of dealing with the real world and understanding basic science and mathematics, being able to speak properly. But I was wanting to continue on with the thing I was saying before I was interrupted 4 times over.
Well, that's this
Did I finish
panel.
my point on the super chat though?
Yeah, please do.
My father always told me he was the largest minority in the world, and that is white male, married once, single breadwinner, right, with 2 kids, house, mortgage, all that kind of stuff, right? The social pressure, if we're going to talk about social pressure on other races, ethnicities, all that stuff and things from there, the social pressure on white men is larger in reality than others. You have every advantage and no excuse.
Right.
If you look at Will Smith, if he had failed, he would have had an excuse. He was very successful, and we say he's very successful for someone of his race, color, or whatever. No, he's very successful.
Yes.
End of story. Pull all that stuff out of it. Scott, you had advantages. You flittered them away. So did I. And now here you are being successful, raising your kids, doing all your stuff. Has absolutely nothing to do with the color of your skin, everything to do with the content of your character. Yeah. So I just wanted to say that. And then I want to apologize to Culture Casino for interrupting him for the 5th time.
Yes. Culture Casino, go number 6.
Okay, so what I was trying to say was that I admired the fact that despite being slapped, which is very hard to take as a man, as Scott was saying, I have a great deal of patience, but I would not have been able to restrain myself and acted in a professional manner had somebody come up to me on stage while I was in the middle of performing and hit me like that. There somebody would have left unconscious at that point because when you do that to a man, a prideful man, there's no stopping until somebody's taken a nap.
I can't deny that, man.
A culture, real quick. I mean, wouldn't you think, like most people, whether you're a big tough person or not, most people are going to check their face the minute they get hit too. There was no putting his hand up to his face to see if his lip was bleeding or anything like that either. Which, to me, that just looks very sus as well.
What did that do?
The whole thing is sus. I mean, it just puts me in mind of watching Christians getting eaten alive by lions in the Colosseum. And then you think today it's like, well, what's changed? Everybody's just clapping and cheering and all of this stuff. It's like so much history can go by and yet nothing can change. Sorry, that's just my
bread in circus. Bread in a circus.
Exactly.
Unbreaded on paper.
Yeah. I just want to see what this lady has to say. Her name is, anybody help me here? Maya. That's Maya? Okay. Maya Nigel Hoskin. She's a self-described race scholar and blames Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on white supremes. She claims in her piece entitled, "While we're talking about Will Smith's behavior, let's also talk about the system that helped create it." In the article, she claims...
What is she even talking about?
We're going to find out. This is about
this is the biggest stretch
of
2022.
It is. Well, and it's early. This is about a much larger systematic issue rooted in white supremes culture designed to police the behavior of blacks amongst the who's who in Hollywood and beyond.
What in the world is she talking about?
I don't know if she knows. So she goes on to say, black people are not held to the same standard as whites when it comes to fair treatment of trivial acts like assault. Hoskins believes that black people can't show any emotion. That's such bullshit. Other than
what she's
reflecting. Wait, who was the young man in Dallas that got let out of jail on bond the same day after shooting at 4 people in high school?
Right, and then Kyle.
Okay, yeah. This is a bullshit article. It's a bullshit argument. Stop
Anybody can pull those examples. What she is talking from is a real life belief that exists in the black community. It's not that white people are doing this, that black people should even care if they were.
Right.
It's that this is what's being perpetuated amongst black people. Like and then they're taking that ridiculous, incredibly flawed mindset, really kind of more of a slave mindset, and promoting it in these types of articles and think pieces. It is. I cannot
it's not. See, this is again going back to you're blaming a group of people, white people, for something that maybe back in Jim Crow era and before might have happened. Like,
but it never.
Well, the idea
she's describing is their own internalized.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Though. It's like even during slavery, if you did something wrong and white people got mad and said, "Oh, black people like this," okay, so. Like, why do you care? Right. This is the thing I cannot stand about the Black American population.
Well, Jane, listen to this.
I want to get heat for it, but I cannot stand that they are so obsessed with what other people think.
Well, this is a big one because I had a guy I worked with. He was probably about 6'3", big dude, who always hunched over, and I like always wondered why he always hunched over, and he literally told me he's trying to make himself look smaller so he doesn't scare people. And what he meant was white people, and he told me that later when we became better friends, but he used to do that because he didn't want to frighten white people. And I'm like, dude, this isn't the guy from the Green Mile. Like, you're just a 6'3" dude. Like, you're a big dude. Be proud of that. This is not something most white people that I know would think of. There's probably people that are afraid of, if you never grew up with a black person in your life, I can see why you might first be fearful because you've never been around somebody. But that goes for, like, again, black kids that have never been around white kids before probably thought of them a certain way, just like Asian kids that have never been around, Native American kids might have thought of them a certain way. Everybody has prejudices.
But when Obama ran for office, did y'all not see the articles or hear the stories and people are saying about how he can't get mad?
Yeah, no.
He yes. Like, you never really saw him snap or get upset or be angry or be aggressive. Right. Like, it's this thing. And Kamala Harris is the same way. Her cackle has become famous because that's all she does is laugh at stuff. Like, you never really see her serious. And why is that? It's because they have this mentality that they can't be angry. They can't be the angry black person. And it's sick. Like, how do you exist as a full human being? It is. It's entirely on them. This is an internal problem.
Right.
Well, really one of the things I wanted to add to that there is a huge difference in the black communities that you may or may not know about. And one of the things that the white people that grew up in the inner cities know is there's a different type of black community that lives in the inner city areas as opposed to the black communities that are maybe out in the rural areas and everything like that. Like, most of these problems where they're saying that, oh, well, it's a white supremacy problem or it's a race problem, it's a cop problem. Most of that stuff starts in the inner cities. I was treated extremely different coming from inner city because I grew up in Trenton, New Jersey, which the population is mostly black. When I was down on my luck because my leg got screwed up and I had to get knee surgery and I couldn't get on disability. I was denied from New Jersey because, well, they suck. I had to wind up going to the welfare office. I got looked at disparagingly by the black lady asking me, why are you here? Because that is the mentality for a lot of people who live in the inner city. Just assume that white people have it all. And, that every white person is going to be extremely lucky with every job they get, or they're going to be making all kinds of money. And that couldn't be any further from the truth. But it exists in the inner cities, and a lot of that inner city mentality escapes into the universities and everything else, and that's where you wind up getting this garbage critical race theory. Because if
go ahead.
Like I said, like, you talk to a black person from the country, and I've had plenty of wonderful discussions with people who come from rural areas. They don't act like that.
Let me just say something with all due respect. You have no idea how backwards that is that you just said. Just because you haven't experienced it or they haven't told you doesn't mean that those conversations aren't happening. I grew up in the most suburban environment there is. I am firmly within middle-class Black America, if not probably upper middle-class Black America. And it's more pressure. It's this internalized pressure that we're talking about is stronger there than it ever would be in the inner city.
Right.
Because in the inner city, they don't really encounter other white people who aren't like them.
Are you saying they're scared they might lose their status of...
Exactly.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
They may lose their job. They may not get that scholarship. They may not get that...
Again, internal, though.
Into the country club. Yeah, it's completely in their own head.
Yeah.
But they grow up and they put this stuff on their kids.
Yeah.
You know, and it's sick. But you see it far more among the working class, middle class, upper class Black people, the suburban Black people who do this, because they are the ones who you tend to see being the most respectable, right? Mm-hmm. How they would never get caught doing anything wrong. Why? Not it's because it's not even. It's difficult to put it into words.
No, I completely get it. It is. It's
but you know what?
Sad.
I went through the same kind of thing. So I mean, it's called white trash. All right. There's more of them, more white people on welfare. I mean, we can pull all these stats if we want to. All right. I grew up in an area where that was a thing. And the pressure on those that had the jobs to be a little bit above that, whatever you want to call middle class, there is no such thing as a middle class. There's just us suckers that are taking a paycheck. And I'm not going to say the word because color my skin. So, I mean, that's what we are to those paychecks, right? In the same boat, we all can slide back down the social ladder, the caste system. All right. So that pressure is there for everyone.
But it's not an economic pressure is what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is that they're specifically talking about how they're perceived by white people. That is the exact language that they're using. And I don't think white people sit around thinking about what Black people think about them.
No, it's the truth. No.
Watch read any S.E. Hinton. All right. Just read that.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the same stuff.
But did you?
It's the same words. It's the same things. It's just
did you
different,
grow up
people.
worrying about what Black people thought about you?
You probably grew up worrying what other white people thought about you.
I grew up worrying about what other white people thought about me.
I see what you mean by that.
Other people who had more money had higher social status than I did.
But you don't see how crazy it's crazy anyway, but I think it's crazier when you're constantly worried about what other people think based on race.
That when you sit there and go the mantlehood, oh, I had it worse than you, I had it worse than you, I had it worse than you, we don't talk about the actual problem.
Right.
The actual problem has nothing to do with who had it worse. It has to do with the system itself.
I'm not describing who had it worse.
Right. We're talking about self-image.
I'm talking about internally. This is incredibly messed up that in the Black community, they are teaching their children to be overly concerned with not just what other people think of them, but specifically what another race of people think of them. It is absurd.
Well, I've seen those videos on TikTok, like how to speak when you're, at work with white people than when you come home. And it's like this complete, and I know they're joking, some of them, but they're making a point where it's like, they talk like this, but when they get home, it's like, yo, dog, it's so,
I'd say it was similar to what the, India, which spent a lot of time under the imperialistic rule of England. And I know a lot of people from that area. I've worked with them for decades. And there is a feeling of being white is the ultimate, right? Marrying somebody who's white, fitting into that community, all those kind of things from there. So, yes, it's messed up that those things are there. And fortunately, we have the power to say no. But not everybody's going to get out of that.
Right.
Right. Not everybody's going to be like Scott, be able to drag themselves up from where they were at their bottom, get over those things, and become a great father, a good husband, and a crappy ass YouTuber.
Oh my God, terrible.
It's awful. So yeah, Jane, I agree with you that it is messed up that people are doing that stuff, but I say it's not just in that community alone.
Right. It's not.
Yeah,
but I just
but
think
it's totally messed up.
The racial element that they add to it,
right,
is just a whole other level psychotic. It's just it needs to stop.
It's another dimension to the discussion. Yeah,
I believe it's a class thing, like you were kind of touching on there, Toxic, where I don't think white people realize what black people think, like what Jane was just saying, what the pressure they put on themselves, but also being white trash, how as a white person you were looked at by other, like, how can you be that poor? Like, it's even worse because there are people that are wealthier that would be like, how can you as a white person, like, those are the racists, the people that are like, as a white person, why are you so poor? You know, I can understand inner city. They don't have the opportunities you have, even though you grew up in a slum too. It's just a different type of slum. Blue-eyed, it's a class war, guys.
You know, I have one quick point to that, because I think you're absolutely right. And that goes back to why a lot of the poor immigrants weren't considered white. You know, they weren't really, really white because they didn't fit into what respectable white folk were like at that particular time.
Talk to my grandmother when she came over, her parents came over, being Italian, and actually even worse, being Sicilian. That was the worst of the Italians. Even the Italians picked on them. But my great grandfather worked his ass off, was a cobbler, worked their way up. So they got it from both sides. So like what you're saying is, I hear my grandmother saying the same stuff. It's just that, you know,
nothing ever happened to the American Indians.
People move. Either. I think. Well, no, but I think. I think.
Right, you know, and that's a different story. That I know, Scott. You're trying to say something there, but I can say my ancestors were on the boat and also met the boat.
Right.
Mine did as well.
Exactly.
But the only thing I'm saying is it takes one generation at least to say we are stopping this cycle. And guess what? These things can break. If we just take that, which I thought Gen X was going to be that group that said, we are no longer going to live by these rules of race and gender, but we are still going to be living the American dream. Just everybody is. And people beyond us just took it and twisted it and whatever. But Blue-Eyed Roof Korean, the base for $5 says Hollywood, hypocritical, someone say that word for me. Magnanimous. I can't even say it when you say it. Fools insist they are the example for society, forever will be known for one slap as a milestone they will never remove. Blue-Eyed Roof Korean is an awesome dude. So thank you so much, bro.
But see, that's kind of the extreme people are talking about.
Right.
Because it's like, Alec Baldwin shot somebody. We're learning that the Flash broke into somebody's house. Like, Hollywood has a whole lot of things. Yeah, that was the latest article.
Oh my God, we got to talk about that. I did not know that. Someone find that.
There's like a long list of things that they can't remove.
He is a nut job.
But I think a whole lot of that stuff that we're talking about, and this is why I mentioned the inner city stuff, Jane, because it seems like a lot of times the value system in the inner city is much lower than it is in a rural area.
I agree.
And I that's why I cited my experience with, like, oh, you don't belong here. Why? Because of that? It's like, seriously? Like, I find that hypocritical nature a bit ridiculous, because you're putting value once again on somebody on their skin tone and not where they live. Because I'm living in the
you're
same
not
area,
real poor.
I'm not no better than you. I don't have any better options than you either.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has the same options that they create. And I think that's a problem a lot of people are missing when they're having these discussions, that everybody has the same opportunity if they apply themselves, but they don't. And they sink back in that same backwards mentality that has kept not just Latinos, blacks, Asians, white. It's keeping everybody across the entire board of the entire world down, because they refuse to break from that shit.
It's a class where I will not stop saying that. That's why they want you to believe you can't do anything without their help. Mr. Grant Gregory, who is on the panel, Australian $5 says, and a channel member, I am just glad there is no pressure for success in the Jewish community. Oh, wait. Oh, my Australian Jewish friend. I love you. I
Probably even more.
Any last thoughts on the Will Smith and the slap heard around Hollywood?
Apparently they asked him to leave and he said no, so they rewarded him with an Oscar.
Yeah, I saw you shared that with me.
On the plus side, they can't make a movie about it because it's already been done. Australia's already done it with Alex Dimitriades. Look it up. It's a movie called The Slap. And it's total bullshit.
I'm going to wait until the porn parody comes out called The Clap.
Yeah.
Strange enough, that one actually does star Jada in it.
Oh, jeez. So we did have
scare your hair off.
We did have a 1 year member, Tina Bojan, members chat or milestone for 20 months. She's been a Littlefinger member. Wow. Thank you so much. That is the highest level you could be. I am so frustrated with folks finding racism in everything. My boys come home each semester telling me how racism and white male privilege has been woven into every course they take at college. Insanity. That's why do some research on your courses or your schools that you're allowing your kids to go to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the truth. Mr. Tickle Trunk also gave me a super sticker. I don't know what it is, but I love you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. You are fantastic.
Don't let
move.
them major in generic stuff.
Yeah, like
it was
women's
looks like a chocolate smiley face in the shape of poo.
I like that. All right, so let's move on.
Does not taste like chocolate.
Is that something from Justin Proper's channel?
Oh, Proper.
Justin Pooper.
God, I feel like we're going from one stupid to another.
Scott, I want you to know you did this.
I know this, and I can't believe there are still 41 people watching us. So thank you very much. Hit that like button. You guys rock. I hope you're enjoying the convo. If there's something that you guys want us to touch on, wait a minute, let me rephrase that. Something you want us to talk about, throw it in the chat. And if it seems interesting, I know Mr. Grant Gregory will let me know. But yeah, Disney executives admit they are pushing not at all secret gay agenda, actively removing gendered greetings and a whole lot more.
See, this is the problem. This is a real problem.
Yeah. Anybody else about it? Go ahead, Jane. Why is it?
Oh my God. How many more things are they going to do where they're trying to basically erase genders and erase what they consider binary sexes, I guess? But that's what we are. Most women are women, biological women. Mm-hmm. Most men are biological men. And that should be okay to acknowledge. And they want to create an environment where that's not acknowledged, where little boys and little girls aren't acknowledged as such.
Right.
And that is insane.
Yeah, it blows my mind. Like, look at the new, and I don't know if that's her name, if you're talking about that one, but the Chip and Dale's
Clarice, yeah.
Yeah, they changed her from being like a pretty chipmunk to now like this butch chipmunk. And it's like
SJW haircut and everything.
With the haircut, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the haircut. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a much more harder fap now, and I'm not appreciative of it.
Guys, Banana Facts with Banana Dave says they're putting an agenda in the water, schools turning the frogs, children gay.
They're turning frogs gay.
I mean, I think it's a bit rich. I mean, I think it's a bit rich coming from Disney. I mean, is anyone actually keeping count? How many out gay characters have they got now? How many first out gay characters have they got? About 6.
Well, are you talking in the free world or in China? Because that's a different count.
Oh, nil in China. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even have black people in China.
Right. Well, they have princes and princesses. Like, that's the bread and butter of Disney, right?
It always was.
So how are they going to erode that? Are you going to have girls playing princes now and boys playing princesses?
It breaks my heart, too, because they're the ones that took the fairy tales and brought them to a new generations.
I'm just waiting until we go back to the 16th century, where it will eventually get to the point where
Shame.
You know, women won't even be allowed on the stage anymore. They'll all have to be played by men and vice versa.
Right.
It's just gonna get very strange very quick.
And then white guys come back. Yeah.
It's gonna go back to the way it used to be on stage, like how was that, thousands of years ago, where they had all the guys playing the women.
That's what he was talking about.
Exactly like the 17th century, and the idea of
so that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, exactly. And back in like the 18th century, I mean, say being a lesbian was merely a cabaret act. So I mean, who knows where it's going to go nowadays? You never know whether it's going to go backwards, forwards. Oh god, some of these policies are just so ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, look at what Blue Eyed Roof Korean said. Culture. At Mr. Grant Gregory, CC did a story about CNN Plus. Rocket CC. Don't know if CC saw that today. It was announced if subs to CNN Plus don't improve by May, they will be merged to Discovery. There I contributed. MGG want source.
I kind of thought it would be.
Yeah, what do you think, Mr. Culture Casino? Are you here? He's totally on watching somebody else's stream.
No, I echo what CC just said. I agree. Yeah, I'll get the source, send it through. So
well, we know Discovery bought them. I mean, they're merging, so
right.
I would think they would combine.
I don't think Culture knows too much about Disney or anything that goes on there, so I don't know why we would want to ask him about any of this.
Eric K in the house. Oh, I like Awesome One says hashtag we support Princess Boy. All right.
Someone asked the question whether they're going to make the bathrooms gender neutral.
If they do that, they need to be single family. That's it. Like, I don't understand how we've gotten to a place where even a Supreme Court nominee will not make a decision on something. Like, your whole job is making decisions.
I hate that she did that.
That was just awful. For anyone who was in that situation, that was awful.
She wants to be a Supreme Court justice so bad, she's willing to just play dumb, and I don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, in playing dumb the way she did, she kind of told on herself, right? By the whole, I'm not a biologist thing. So you admit there's a biological component. Is that it?
Right, but not even just that, man. She like told you how hardcore she has to lean in one direction to get confirmed.
You have to these days, I guess.
That's crazy.
We haven't had a good Supreme Court justice nominee in about 60 years.
I mean, thought the last lady was okay.
I'm just going to say, doesn't that discount Biden's original idea of pushing her because he wanted a black woman?
That's all he wanted.
If she can't confirm that she's a woman, she can't tell why. Doesn't that like discredit his nomination?
What blows my mind is like Kavanaugh was called a rapist, and people are upset that they're questioning her decision not to answer that question. You know, like there is, it goes everywhere. Like it depends. I am no longer believing in the idea of, it's if you're black or if you're white. It's now if you agree with us or if you don't, we will attack you, destroy you with every, saying we have. But somebody on our team, if they do the same things, we will protect them from every one of those sayings. It's unbelievable.
With a straight face.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I mean, so you look at the topic we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's a very small group of people that are pushing these things.
Right.
And if we just stop listening to them and stop giving them air, it goes away. So my initial point about the whole slap heard around the world, or whatever you want to call it, whether it was engineered, which it was, or it was real, which it wasn't, it doesn't matter. The fact that we are talking about it, I understand the memes are funny and all that stuff from there. Sometimes you have to stand up, be an adult, and turn your face from that.
Right.
You're an adult. You're over 18. You're an adult. Grow up, right? And I'm not saying that to you, Jane, because you found those funny. I found them funny too, and I've made several myself.
Yeah.
It's
the
we
king
just
of
need
memes.
to stop giving it air. And if you stop giving a flame air for about 5 minutes, it dies.
Oh yeah.
And realize also that social media is not a real place. That there are far more people out there with shall we say decidedly quote unquote normal viewpoints than there are than we can see, because most of us most of us, I'm speaking for myself, but most of us are chronically online. And we have a very different perspective of things because we all see it unfolding every day on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you are. And that's all we see. We don't really remember that the real world is out there, and the real world is not Twitter.
But see, that's my issue in culture. I wanted your take on this. The problem is people have been thinking that way for the last last handful to 10 years. And that's how control of social media has gone so far one direction, because people like ourselves, who I believe can have adult conversations with a little humor and a little truth and a little this and a little that, didn't speak up.
Exactly. And the sad thing is, even though Twitter is not a real place, even though it represents only, 2% of the entire population, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking globally, something like 2%. We give it far too much power.
Hell yeah. Even after the new CEO expressed that their views are what they'll be pushing, not freedom of speech.
Exactly. That's the problem that I have, is that we have been saying that Twitter isn't the real world.
Right.
But some of these corporations are taking...
that mouse is doing at the moment either.
These corporations are starting to listen to Twitter. And they're starting to hire people and put them in positions of power in the company that are basically Twitter on steroids in the real world.
Right. Like
exactly.
we've turned the other, you know how like a lot of us probably were like, when things started happening, it'll pass. Oh, that'll pass. Oh my God, they passed a law to protect. Oh my God. Like, we let it go too far. We have to try to combat it with actual common sense and allow people to realize that there's more of us out there than them. And don't be scared. Don't be scared to speak your mind, even if we disagree. Them people.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that. So culture, I don't know if you were somewhere else. Someone brought up, oh, wait a minute. Was there a super chat I missed? Did RevKev have a super chat that I missed? As my super chat said the other day, you all are feeding this hype. Yeah,
I agree. I agree with him, which is why I've been trying not to talk about it. But
that's fine.
Yeah, every panel.
And unfortunately, that's the hypocrisy of it all, isn't it? I mean,
I disagree, but okay.
We're trying not to cover this crap. Give the Oscars air, as they say. But whether we like it or not, it's got people talking about it, and unfortunately, we're all buying into it.
See, I think we're talking in culture. I'll throw it back to you. Yes, it's the Oscars, but I think with the conversation we've had, we're talking about bigger issues. It's bigger issues that this showed. This showed people's just the stupidity of people always trying to bring race, and this, we need to combat this type of stuff. But RevKev, I do understand definitely where you're coming from, man. I just feel that it was an important conversation for us to have. And now we're done with that.
And if we don't have it, I mean, how are people going to know that there are other people who share their views?
That's true. Thank you. That's my whole point.
At a certain point, we have to, as Tox says, and as Eric is alluding to, we have
move on.
We need to starve of oxygen. This is why I'm going to sit here. Let me know when I'm allowed to talk.
Can we talk about Halo? That seems to be a positive thing, or maybe Picard, or
how about
Mandalorian?
What about Bruce Willis retires?
I watched Moon Knight.
I feel old.
I did not watch it yet, but I will.
You like Moon Knight? Okay, I've heard some people say they liked it.
Oh my God,
it's so boring.
For once, I actually have like a bunch super chats. Yay! So first super chat from the great Shellback, who, thank you, Shellback. He donated Girl Scout cookies from the link I have in Twitter for my daughter's Girl Scout troop, who she's like 30 away from hitting her goal of 400 boxes she sold. But she is he donated it to troops across this that are abroad right now. So he donated 4 boxes, and I appreciate that. But he says, here's the first installment of my panel admittance fee. Dude, you want to come on? I'll have, not tonight because we're getting close to wrapping up, but next week, Shellback, please remind me on Wednesday. I'll throw you a link and you could definitely come on.
Get Turtle Man in here.
Yeah, definitely.
Shellback, you just don't want to know what I had to do to try to not be on this stream. It was
no teeth.
awful.
He went full Jada Smith.
Full Jada. I even got to pull his hair.
It's hard to catch alopecia. I'm just telling you that.
That's what I told him he had. Mr. Tickle Trunk for Canadian $5 says, as your friendly northern snow Mexican, I'm always fascinated with you Americans obsessed with race. I am too, man. Most of the world's prejudice between countries. I disagree with that. I think it's sometimes harder to see other cultures' racism because, no offense, like in China, people look alike. So they're racist against like people's religion. And
well, to you and me, they look alike.
Wow, that sounded horrible. That sounded horrible. I didn't mean it like that.
That was the best take.
You know what? All those Australians look alike to me.
I just got canceled.
There's so much homogenized population.
The only one that's allowed to look alike anybody is me, and we all know why.
You just cut off Culture for the 90th time, Sam. I'm loving it.
I'm sorry.
I really think sometimes Sam can't hear us as well as we think because he doesn't mean. Sam is one of the most polite people, Culture, so don't take it personal. What were you going to say?
I like how Culture's avatar is disappointed.
Globally, the United States is the only true melting pot because the homogenized cultures and all. Fuck you guys, I'm done.
No, I'm listening. What, you can't have a dancing Gina Carano over your face? God, you are sensitive. Okay, we'll move on. I really wanted to hear what you said, but I just saw Gina Carano's face and I thought it'd be hot. Anywho, he's never coming back.
It's more of a true salad.
What do you mean by that?
Like, we have a lot of different people here, but we haven't melted yet.
That's going
to happen, but I don't think it's happened yet.
It's going to take generations, but yeah.
It does in Texas. It's that freaking hot there.
How is Texas, Culture? You were there.
It was amazing. San Antonio is beautiful.
Is it?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Did you end up going out anywhere to eat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was an amazing steakhouse that I had food at that was located in a neighborhood. It had been there so long that a neighborhood,
built up around it.
I was like, this is awesome.
Did you go to Austin at all?
No, I didn't get a chance. Next time we're going to go for like 4 or 5 days and just kind of bounce around the cities.
Because I would like to go to Austin. And if you do before me, check out Franklin's.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm going back to San Antonio specifically because we have some great humans, right? And there's Mad.
Hey, Mad.
Mad looks good. What's up, Mad?
Hasn't been on forever. Why does no one show their faces? God, Gary.
Hang on, I gotta pull my hair back.
Oh yeah, your long ass hair. While you do that, Blue Eyed Roof Korean, the base for $5 says, I kind of agree. It's getting old. You creators have enough talent to talk about things you actually like. And thank you, man. Cover what? Can I finish the super chat? He paid for it. Cover what you will, but I dismiss everything Hollywood. What do you have to say about that Culture Casino?
Well, I think that if we're talking about
Culture, I just wanted to finish the gentleman's super chat. He paid for it. Culture? Okay.
Interestingly enough, I haven't been able to finish a point in like this show.
Well, you also haven't been here the whole time.
Hey, I know he does that, but that's okay. Well, Mr. Tickle Trunk for Canadian $2 said, good. If you let CC talk, he'll cast a spell on you.
This is true.
He is a magician.
He's a witch.
If he floats, he's a witch. Hashtag Culture Casino turned me into a new Mr. Tickle Trunk for 2 Canadian.
Oh, God, I love all you people.
I think we need to give Culture Casino 2 minutes.
Yeah, take it. Wait a minute. Hold on. I have a banner for this.
Yeah, I'm so glad I showed up for his 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for showing up.
So's the boss.
The state of Texas is amazing, and had I not already planned to be in Florida for my retirement years, Texas would have been the choice because it was that cool. So congratulations, Texas, on having an amazing state. In fact, I think the southern states are going to be, for a change, the place to go if you're like want freedom and normalcy. But look, we live in a country, and I understand what Jane said. I don't fully agree, but we are a melting pot. We've allowed and adopted other people's cultures, right? And we're being called on it now. It's being called cultural appropriation, which is complete baloney sausage. But experimenting with other people's cultures and experiencing their cultures is incredibly important. It's how we grow together. The ability to share a meal is the most important act as a human being you can have of even understanding another person and the culture that they come from. So that's why it's really important to me and the boss when we travel. We always go to local places to eat. We don't go to a chain. I'm not looking for a Hard Rock Cafe in Italy.
Right.
I'm not looking for, I'm looking for a local place to eat. And it includes countries where people tell you, well, don't eat the local food. And I'm like, you're really dumb.
Nut says that.
Yeah.
Drink the water in Mexico. What's the worst that could happen?
I love Taco Bell.
Everything. If you go to any quality restaurant in Mexico, everything is prepared with agua purificada.
And isn't it like a lot of the stuff is fresh that day?
Absolutely. In fact, one of the best places I ever ate was in Costa Rica at a local port town. So I always tell people, in the United States, we're different than most countries. We are not homogenized, and in fact, right now, we are as diverse as we've ever been. And it only continues to get that way. And I was one of those people that was told in the 70s that everybody was going to keep banging each other and we were all going to be mixed eventually anyway. I think it's about 300 or 400 more years away. But I think that it isn't going to matter so much in this country what anybody looks like. I think that the immutables are things that people are utilizing to divide us because they don't make any difference. I'm friends with everybody on this panel and they don't all look like me. They don't all act like me.
Thank God.
I think I read a statistic that like 20% of new marriages are interracial.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen pretty quickly.
Very soon. Yeah. Yeah, it's not. And again, the stigma that's tied to it died 2 generations ago because there was a stigma. I ain't gonna lie. There was some latent racism in those stigmas. But that shit's gone. It's been gone for a while. My generation is the one that's like, you guys are dumb. We're just gonna all live together. You can go, whatever.
Yeah.
All my grandchildren are what you would consider mixed race.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, they are 100% American.
Yeah,
that's how I raise my girls. They ask like my kids are raised as Americans. Yeah,
multiple American Indian, German, Irish, Welsh.
Huh?
My kids.
There's no pure race people unless you're in Norway or Sweden or something like that.
Right.
There's none of that.
My kids are African, Indian, Italian, Polish, Russian. Like there are so many things in. You're American. That's what an American is. We're just
I'm Heinz 57. I was Heinz 57 before some of my ancestors even got here. They were already mixed up. So it's like I don't have tolerance for the immutables tied to race. I just don't, because we're all one race. We're a human race, right? I have no tolerance for this, trying to create this divide between the genders. I have zero tolerance for that.
Right.
So it's what we allow for. Are we tolerant of the bologna sausage that's being said, or are we not? Or do we continue to call it out? And that's the important thing. That's why I value this type of exchange. What I would value more is being able to watch Die Hard at Christmas without being told it's not a Christmas movie.
Oh, it's definitely a Christmas movie. Nick McCabe, the other real quick. Nick McCabe, the other Australian brother. But we have our quota, so we can't be on. For $10, dude. Thank you so much. He sent that dog with fans and stuff. So I appreciate that. What were you gonna say there, Tommy, the guinea pig collective?
Well, what I wanted to add on to that is such an importance is being made about mixing of the races. Is at one time it wasn't even that. It was like you could have been a white person from, I don't care, Hungary, and it could have been another white person from Russia, and then that was frowned upon at one time. So the fact that they've moved it away from point of origin to just race is ridiculous, because at one time you couldn't even interbreed between countries because it was frowned upon. And when we all came to, when our ancestors, from no matter how far back they came to America, it was a whole different ball game, because it was supposed to be a big melting pot of all different people from all different countries. And that should have been thrown out the window, but for some reason they always keep bringing it back.
I think you're right, though. Like, at some level, it's tribalism and it's going to exist no matter what.
Right.
Like, we don't have a major influx of people from other places coming here, except in this hemisphere. And so we'll probably all, at some point, be Hispanic or some variation of that shortly. But you'll still have tribalism in some way, shape. People will find a way to divide themselves if they can help it.
Right. No, that's
but at least we'll get
absolutely
past
true.
this part of it.
Right. Do you think that's like inherently ingrained in our DNA to form tribes? Yeah. What do you? Oh, wait a minute. What, you're here. What's up?
Do you know how much freaking caffeine I had to take just to be able to come on here? God.
Oh, don't do me a favor.
7 caffeines.
Wow, you sound like you're such a big help right now. Thank you for everything.
No-dos machismo.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that we are boring you. What would you like to talk about?
You okay?
Yeah, is everything
I'm fine.
Oh, I know. Okay. I get it. Eric K for $4.99 says Sam is down under. Remember, water flows down hard to here underwater. Yeah, and it also flows backwards. Eric K. One of the
actually, it's flowing a lot again. Half the towns that were flooded out a month ago have just got reflooded.
Wow. Yeah. Well, there's a bad one.
That 1 in 100-year flood has happened twice in 2 months.
Well, that's
that climate change.
There's a big storm.
I'm just waiting for the country to get set on fire again so it can dry out.
Yeah.
Eric K for another $1.99. Matt is on finally someone with manners here.
Damn straight, man. Class. If I'm known for anything, it's my classy ass behavior.
Yeah, okay. Toxic Man Flu for $5. You're on the panel, man. You don't have to keep paying. If Culture goes to a local restaurant in Russia that has a no bears allowed policy, does he get to eat inside? That's a good question.
Is
that a gay reference or a hairy reference?
If I keep my shirt on, they'll think I'm a person. Probably.
It's a Wookiee question. It really is a Wookiee question.
Gotcha.
When I grow
here's another one.
When I grow my hair super long, I'm going to do the Cousin It thing, and I will legit look like Cousin It again.
Okay, so I want you to read the next two, Culture.
Mr. Tinkle Trunk for a Canadian $2 says, Culture's right. Let's bang. Mr. Trickle Trunk for another Canadian $2 says, I offer myself as tribute.
Oh, one more.
As long as he doesn't use the 3 fingers.
Toxic Man Flu for $2 says, I'll pay for the Mr. Tickle Casino peep show.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Culture Casino, my co-host. Mr. Tickle Trunk for Canadian $5. Why am I the only one on screen? If we were actually different races, we couldn't procreate with one another. Let's do an experiment. Who wants to hump a grayback? Well,
what?
Different races.
That's another racist thing.
That's a different race.
What?
It's a gorilla.
Oh.
What?
It's a different race. Like, we're all the human race, but we call it races. Like, if you want to talk about a different race of species, let's humpback whales, because they already have hump in their name.
Scott, I want to tell you the thing, just so you know, that thing is a blowhole. It's just by name.
No, but it closes, man.
I do have I have an important scientific question. Is the humpback whale, is his penis percentile like a dolphin?
Spiked or which
no,
one's
like
corkscrew?
it can grab you. That's a duck, bro. Come on, learn your penises. Learn your peni.
Does it have a baculum as well?
Precentile.
And that means what now?
It can grab you and shit. Like a dolphin can grab you with his penis.
You mean prehensile?
Yeah, prehensile. We're all saying the same thing, guys.
Sam, don't even try, dude. I
just didn't say it in Australian.
Oh, jeez.
But I can translate it for you. Prehensile.
Well, I have something I want to show real quick on that.
I know that.
Is it
in the South?
Subject.
Yeah.
On that
in the
subject.
South, it's pronounced dick grabber.
Not exactly, but we do have a animal expert on the panel, guys.
Rhinosaur, the last living dinosaur. It's a rhinosaur. God. Oh, you may want to skip the intro. You're gonna get claimed. I don't want to see these before. There you go.
The rhinosaur.
By the way, 5 points. Anybody can guess the background music.
Jamiroquai.
Is that a? Oh man, that was quick. Is that a pig?
Hey,
in the back?
look, there's my ex-wife in the background.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of? This is just a side. I had a G.I. Joe when I was a kid, and I think he had a boar. We'll call it a boar. Wilder eyes. Also allows them to give birth pretty easily. Yes.
Guys, he has no clue what he's talking about.
Yeah, dude. Look at those thighs.
This is mansplaining with Mad Martigan.
It's Matsplanation, Animal Kingdom.
Is this your show?
I feel one like of them. It's not going to be a theme that like every animal we do has. Balls,
this is one of my favorite videos on YouTube right now. I just shared it in the chat, guys. This needs to go somewhere. It has to blow up.
Wait, hold on. Here it comes. Stretch. Wait, no, it's not stretching. What is it doing? Is it humping that tree? The tree trunk? Or is it scratching his balls?
Why are you looking at rhino butts?
It's scratching his. I get that.
He's like.
You don't have hands.
The crocodile hunter.
You know what I mean? Think about it like this. Like
Exactly,
the
same
T-Rex had hands, but they were so small he couldn't ever.
He has small hands,
like,
so he can't
scratch
scratch his balls.
Penis. As you can see, these are Gentile rhinosaurs.
You can definitely hear that tree screaming.
What is he doing?
I'm leaving it in. I don't care. They're Gentile rhinosaurs.
Is he? No, he's not humping it. By the way,
he is humping it.
Makes me change the way that other dinosaur was approaching him was like.
He's scratching his butt.
Finally, this is what we came for. All right, dinosaur on dinosaur X with a stare down. It's like in boxing. They stare at each other. And one's like, "Fool, I'll knock you out. I knock out more people." And the other one's like, "No, I'll knock you out because I've knocked out."
This is
a couple of people.
This is on YouTube.
Like,
this is fantastic.
And then not Dana White because I was saying boxing, but we're gonna switch to UFC for this.
I wish I thought of this. It'd be better.
Dana's White guys, don't fight.
We need to do one together, man.
The question of whether or not Mad smokes
show the rock
has
part.
been answered.
Show the rock part.
I X'd it out.
Whatever, man. That was the best part, dude.
I'm sorry, buddy.
When he's scratching his ass, he's like scratching his balls and he's farting as he's doing it.
We lost 15 people. That was awesome. Mr. Tickle Trunk for Canadian $2.
I have another one about pandas.
Oh, we will have to watch that. Australia has 3 seasons: floods, fires, and poison.
That's incorrect. It's flood, fire, and cricket.
Oh, okay. I like that. Yes.
So we lost 15 watching that video. Or are you trying to lose the other 15 viewers watching the other video?
What other video?
No,
we're not watching. That's for my own personal enjoyment because I personally think it's hilarious.
Thank you.
I think
we got to
I think
60
you're gold.
people by interrupting culture, so I think we should just continue to
keep doing that. Yeah. I like how you think.
Why stop now?
Well, it comes down to we know you have important stuff to say. But
Can we do a poll?
Can't understand it.
Sorry,
guys,
toxic.
No. Hold
on.
on.
No, right ahead, man.
I am going to do
you
a
can
poll
you can
right
stomp
now.
all over me, man. You
right.
you are the giant uncircumcised rhino
What
of my life.
Animal should Mad do next?
Whatever wins. It's weird. You're gonna do a poll with.
Yeah, you really. I was gonna add certain names, but yeah, guys, let's.
A parrot. Okay, that's one.
You
Yeti.
keep an eye on that.
Yeti,
an eye on that.
Yeti.
A
beholder.
Yeah.
Medusa.
Dead parrot. I like
parrot.
that.
Yeah, I like that one.
Dead parrots.
Yeah. We have.
Is
dead
that a
parrots.
type of parrot?
Yes.
Ex-parrot.
Spork, have you fallen out with Walton? No, I have not fallen out with Walton. I support Walton in everything he does.
Though Walton may have widened, and you may not fit.
That is true.
As you used to. So
his gaze is always here, people. His gaze is always here.
No, he's.
Well, he was working in.
Fucking my wife's mouth. I'm going to, okay?
That was perfect timing.
And it is a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days.
I don't know what this man is doing.
And so having said that,
it's starting to upset me.
I want me some
Sounds
glory hole.
disrespectful, I think.
No, he hasn't known what he was doing since Jimmy Johnson left.
We have penguins, cricket,
Okay, penguins.
titmouse, mice,
A quokka.
a quokka.
You didn't know. You had no clue what that was. Did
No,
you,
I
Scott?
didn't. I had no clue. I'm like, why is there so many K's in one sentence or one word? Dolphin. Mad the Magnificent Swallow.
I'd like to see him do Mickey Mouse.
The blue-footed booby. All right, put that one in. Put the quokka in. Put the dead parrot in. That'd be good.
Ducks. Sunfish. Sunfish. Okay, no. Okay. All right.
So, but the dead...
Tox's ex-wife.
That was a warthog.
All right, so what do you want me to put in again for the poll?
Yeah, the dead parrot.
Okay, hold on. All right, so...
Because I think it would be a great video of it just like a dead parrot on the ground. Be like, so... This is the dead parrot.
Where would
another lazy animal, man?
Where'd you find a video of a dead parrot?
Dude, the internet.
And
yeah, I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm no real fan of Mad. Everybody knows that, but I wouldn't want him to have sex with my ex-wife, so it doesn't matter.
Warthog?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Quokka.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to do that. Man.
Quokka, yeah.
Quokka.
Yeah.
All right. What was the parrot, live or dead? Quokka, or whatever. What's next?
Penguin.
What was penguin? Yeah.
Dolphin.
No, not a dolphin, dude. It's just gonna be all rape.
Butt pirate.
Butt pirates are Rainbow Beard, the butt pirate.
Oh, there was some kind of Sue Bill dolphin.
Selfish.
What's a selfish?
Blue-footed.
No. Sunny.
Booby.
I thought you said
Yeah. Blue-footed booby. That's the last one.
Blue-footed
booby. Yeah, as long as it's on a guy, I'm okay with this boob.
We got four.
What about
Let's ask the community.
Not a blue waffle.
No.
What? Why
Don't
not?
do that to yourself. I like sunfish. That would have been a good one.
Hey, kids, if you want to see something really fun, look up blue waffle.
No. God, don't do it to yourself.
There was a nice one in the chat. What's wrong with him doing a Tijuana donkey?
Cleveland Steamers.
So I want you all to know, I just got a DM. I don't know if you guys know who Max Priestley is.
MVP.
Yeah, he's going to be our guest on
heard of him.
Saturday night. So
I'll be here for it. I know the guy.
Well, I didn't say you were invited.
I met him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy. I like his stuff. So we will have him on as a guest for our Saturday show.
Wait, he's not that dude that was an officer in the Marine
captain,
Corps, was
I
he?
believe. Wasn't he a captain?
Oh, they're the worst.
He's yoked. He makes you look like a midget. I mean, he is.
Okay.
He is a tower of a man. He was a top prospect athlete. This is a man's man, man.
And we have a Yeti.
That's true.
Yeah, that talks a lot.
And to
I
be
was
fair,
watching Infinity War earlier. Get it? And we have a Yeti.
Yeah.
Like
That's a
we have a Hulk.
We have a Hulk.
Thank you.
Thank you. To be fair, Mad is 100%.
That was actually in the first Avengers film, but way to go there, man.
But by the way, this does remind me of you, like, oh, you're so bulking, blah, 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 right? It reminds me of the story. I went to like some security guards or whatever, caught these guys doing something. They're in the car, and when I get there, they're like, "Hey, man, just to let you know, I don't think they speak English." I went, "Oh, that's cool. Glock is an international language. I got this." They did not think it was funny,
and then he shot them.
No, they did not think it was
End
funny.
of
And
story.
I got in a little trouble.
Austrian.
Yeah.
See,
I'm so thankful for this show because when I get on a real show, I'll know the difference.
You totally will. Let me know because I would love to be on a real show.
You're on my show once in a while, Scott.
Every once in a while. Let me just sit through the chat and kiss every single person's ass.
Well, that would be good.
I mean, you do it well. And I'm just jealous because you have like 100 people watching.
Hey, we recovered back to 30 people. That's good.
Yeah, because we're pretty good. I like waffles. Be right back. Do not look at Mr. Do not do it.
Don't do it. You'll love it.
No, down with the blue waffle.
Didn't they come out with blue waffles? Like Eggo?
It was like a bad plan.
Right. Yeah, we found that. I don't know if it was Eggo itself, but it was definitely a blue waffle.
Man.
Yes, they did. I think it was, wasn't it like ocean themed or something?
Yeah, something.
Something.
Fish.
Let's find. I was about to Google it. I am shutting up right now. I can't believe I was about to Google that. What am I thinking?
About to Google it?
Yes.
Well, at least
It was done by Kellogg's.
This time.
Was it done by Kellogg's?
Yeah, it was done by Kellogg's, and it was called the Narwhal waffles.
That's
what?
It was a
Narwhal.
bluish green. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude,
it's a nice stabbing name.
It goes back to my whole idea of like these companies need someone there to be like, hey, real quick. I don't know if you've heard of Google, but you should put blue waffle into it before you come up with this idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just somebody that's like, no, dum-dums. Like, that's not how the Force works. Or, get somebody.
Someone needs to do some quality control.
Right.
Yes, quality control in all of these things, in all endeavors.
Let's see where we are at the poll. Right now we are at 26% parrot live or dead, 21% quokka, 4% penguin, and 50% blue-footed booby.
Scott, do you know what a quokka is?
No, I have no clue.
Dude, it is the most adorable animal on the planet.
So cute.
I'm looking up a quokka now.
They smile for the camera. They're riddled with diseases, though. They have chlamydia. But
Do not look up blue quokka.
Yeah.
Whatever you do.
God damn you people. All right. We're going to bring up some images of quokkas.
You know, when Jane laughs, my heart jumps.
I know.
What a beautiful, beautiful laugh.
I know. Lyrical.
Oh, it's a rat. Look at that little son of a bitch.
Look at the little son of a bitch.
They really do smile.
Yeah.
What the hell are they? A rodent? Are they a marsupial?
McFadden, quokkas are riddled with diseases as well. They have chlamydia.
That looks like a koala.
So do armadillos. Armadillos actually carry that, and they also carry like
the Black Plague.
No, something that makes it's the fleas actually, but they also carry something that like makes shit fall off of you.
Leprosy. Oh God, like leprosy?
Leprosy. Yeah, that's it. Not the Black Plague, you dumb. It's the leprosy.
All right, now I want to see. I want to see an angry one.
You won't find one.
I don't think that's possible.
No.
Yeah, Tom just got done doing 4K for you. So.
Oh, Tom's in the chat.
Look. Like they're all still
if he wants
smiling
to come
their
and talk
asses
about
off.
quokkas, send him a
That
link.
the one in the second row wants a hug, obviously.
I know,
right?
Very
I want this. I want one of these.
Does that guy have a knife? He has a knife.
Yeah, there you go.
You don't want to mess with that
He'd
quokka.
still be smiling at you.
Oh, so they are marsupials.
Marsupial.
Yeah,
I could say it. I like that guy.
Some quokkas. Two animals I would love to have. Three. Quokka, right?
Mm-hmm.
A meerkat.
Meerkat, yep.
Meerkats are awesome. And what was the other one? It was important. Oh, otter. I want
a warthog.
I want
you want a quokka, an African quokka, and then a Canadian quokka. Got
it.
They do not look like serial killers.
They do. I mean,
Adorable
they do
serial
a lot of
killers.
STDs. You should be fine as long as you don't fuck one.
Oh God.
I wonder if you can get one as a pet and get them shots. So they'll
I'm sure you can.
clean.
I'm sure you can.
Like a little penicillin.
Oh yeah. It's not that bad.
I think a hollow point 22 would take care of that.
How big? Are they little? Are they like? I mean,
if you stop clicking on pictures,
they're
and
about the
actually
size
went
of
to
a
like
cat.
their Wikipedia.
do you have them around you in Australia?
No, they're in New Zealand.
No, they're not bad. No, they're not. Okay, they live
I believed
on,
him. Son of a bitch.
They live on Rottnest Island, which is off Western Australia.
In WA, it's other side of the. It's not even really part of Australia.
Soul Assassin, don't be a quokka. Subscribe to Matt.
I want one. I want one of those. Give me one of those.
From where I am, other side of the country, yeah.
Don't worry.
Boom, quokka
Email me
laka.
one of those.
I think everybody could use a quokka in their lives.
See, where I am at the moment, I'm about 2 hours away from Tin Can Bay, which is where you can feed the dolphins.
Not the dolphins, quokkas. Go get some.
Quokka!
And mail
see
them
that
to
picture
us.
there? Just after that picture was taken, that thing jumped on her face and mauled her like Harambe.
Like the gorilla in Connecticut
look
just
at its
ripped her
face.
face off.
Did you
I'll go back to that.
I would warn
one of
against getting a
Hold on.
Tasmanian devil. A, they're prone to cancer, and B, they will probably bite your hands off.
They have a
Don't
ridiculously.
go get a Wolverine.
I want
Look at the look on that guy's face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he says, and you just know right after that, full force, straight into her face, ripped it off.
Oh, you know.
That face says, "I'm a cut a bitch."
Yeah, exactly. That quokka has done hard time.
That face is like, oh, bitch, I hope you already have chlamydia because you about to get it in the mouth.
I want one of these.
You want me
This was the this is the picture after.
And now make me a sandwich.
Now make me a sandwich.
It's
You want to talk about stereotypes? I got some. I'm a man.
Is that we've actually got adverts. We've got advertisements here that actually have singing quackers.
What?
It's adorable.
What?
They sing?
Wait, I'm okay. Yeah, we bring that up.
Well,
Wait, I thought that
it's,
said.
look, it's CGI. It's CGI, but it's
I don't care. Bring it up, Sam.
Yeah,
Or Nick.
Yeah,
King Kong got nothing on Quokka.
Whip it out, McCabe.
Oh, Yeti
It was
appears.
syphilis, motherfucker, not chlamydia. Same treatment though.
Yeah.
Syphilis.
Stab you in the hip with a fucking.
Wait. Go down.
Oh, down.
Scroll down.
Yep.
Scroll
a little
down.
bit further.
You move to
The guy there. That looks like he's
Oh my
boning the
god.
quokka.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, but it definitely looks like he had consent though. If you look at the
That's
face
right.
of the quokka.
I mean, wait a minute. I'll
Yeah.
blow this one up too because the Quokka looks like it's.
That's what he said.
I want one of these so bad now.
Yeah, that Quokka's happy. They look so different from each picture though. Like, are they?
Yeah, because they're individuals, Scott.
Dang it.
They don't all look alike.
No,
They're not all
Yeah,
the same.
they're not like the Chinese, as you said
You
earlier.
racist.
Son of a
This
bitch.
is
No,
what
that's
Twitter.
a speciesist is what you
Yeah,
are.
this is what Twitter has been warning us about. Is people like Scott, like, oh, they all look different. No shit.
Hey, Scott,
It's the private chat.
Video, yeah, the video.
Oh, it is.
Private chat.
All right, in the private chat. Hold on, singing Quokkas.
Quokka.
The bottom one.
God.
Okay.
Asking
It's the
Scott
same.
to
They're
Oh,
do
it's
both
the
the
something.
same link. They're both the same link, so it should be
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Must
So
have
a
it
link.
now.
A link is something we use to show stuff.
Oh God.
In my life, there's been toothache and pain. HBF has helped me time and again.
What's
What?
HBF?
Is that a treatment for syphilis or
For
chlamydia?
insurance, I think.
Oh,
Hey,
I thought.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a health thing. So it's
So
Oh,
it
it's
kinda
health
is
insurance.
related.
There you go.
Yeah.
it's health insurance.
So everybody knows that they have the clap, so they're like, "This is funny because they're selling health insurance."
That one looks kind of like Donald Trump.
Members first, they're not for profit.
No.
They changed this quacker's life. Now I know what love is.
Oh, he's got a choir.
HBF's how it should be.
I want HBF.
I will cancel my TRICARE that I have for life and get HBF for that. I don't care how much I
that
have
is
to pay.
worth it, dude. That
Quokka
was so
Quackerist.
worth it.
Scott is a quackerist.
Wait, what?
You're a quokka.
Dude, they all look alike. I'm sorry. Well, they all look different. I thought they were supposed to look alike. I'm learning. Okay, I'm learning.
I need one of these. You know what? I bet you the boss would let if I build a pen. I bet you she'd.
They will come if you build it.
Dude, I was gonna build an enclosure, like a whole habitat for
not come.
meerkats. So I promise you.
Meerkats, really?
Do not come.
Oh yeah.
Meerkats are the ones that go.
Yeah, they stand up on their back
Okay.
legs. And, yeah, they're
They're
awesome.
prairie dogs, right?
No.
Oh.
No,
Oh, you
Well,
can see any kind of
similar,
meerkat.
they're
Yeah.
similar to prairie dogs, but no, they're two.
Now I gotta
completely
see what a meerkat
unique
is.
species.
Oh my god, you don't know what a meerkat is, bro? Timon and Pumbaa, motherfucker. Hey,
Go,
Oh,
go
that's a
to
meerkat?
go to
I
go
don't
to
know
C-SPAN
how
and
you
you'll
spell
be able to see
meerkat.
all of
no,
them.
keep doing it. Nobody talk. Just watch them.
I don't
As
know
he
how
does
to
this.
spell meerkat. That's what I'm going with. Hey! It's a meerkat.
They're so cool.
Those are kind of
Grant,
scary.
That
Grant,
looks like a freaking whatchamacallit.
Grant, highlight Boss McFadden.
Bosh.
His 803. Boost. No, 803. A few up.
I spelled it right? Meerkat?
M-E-R.
There you go.
Yeah, MERCAT, right?
that's clever. I like
Yeah,
that one.
right.
They're so cute.
You guys are fucked up. Hey, Katina, thank you. I referenced you earlier for letting me know it was Bradley Cooper. All right, everybody, thanks for
What
being
was Bradley
here.
Cooper?
Well,
Bradley
we also
Cooper-
have insurance ads with meerkats as well.
Meerkats
have-
are rad.
What, can we
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah, I'll bring up that one.
Okay.
What happened with Bradley Cooper?
He helped out Will Smith in
Yeah,
the
he
heat
was
of the moment.
Peacemaker. He and Denzel Washington and what's the Tyler Perry. We're all playing Peacemaker with.
What did they say, dude? You look like a bitch. Stop.
Probably.
Oh, that's great.
Like, bro, that did not come right.
Denzel is crazy religious, so he went.
Oh,
you know what,
it's in the private jet, Scott.
Okay. Yeah, he also helped out like some crazy cuckoo banana guy with the cops. Like he went down and like talked the dude down like a complete stranger. Yeah, Denzel's like legit.
I love Denzel.
Well, look, if you watch the video, it's obvious that Will Smith shifts in his chair. All right, and the dildo up his butt obviously does something.
Oh, you mean Jack Murphy?
No, Will Smith.
Oh,
God, this is awesome.
Something obviously happens, and it angers him.
Oh wait.
I hate modern style houses.
Ah, me too.
So does Frank Lloyd Wright.
What are you doing, Sergey? It's all automated.
Ooh, clever.
Wait a minute, was that Yoda? Ooh, clever.
Sergey. Do you know who Sergey the Meerkat is?
No.
You better get that in there with Baby Oleg. Baby Oleg is adorable.
What is their
automated?
What is their accent? Is it foreign?
Basically Russian, I think.
Yes.
Automated. Oh, come on.
Are meerkats Russian?
Yes.
Deal with Otto Sergey is all automated.
I automatically look for.
You think this is a Russian accent?
I have no clue what it is. Have you heard my Russian accent?
Relax. Okay.
Top up.
Automated?
Don't be ridiculous, Sergey.
Don't be ridiculous, Sergey. Yeah, it sounds Russianish.
Get back in your place, please.
Keep life simple.
Okay.
Symbols.
They also have a full ad campaign called "Compare the Meerkat," and they say it like market, and that's their whole thing. It's about getting the best insurance on everything.
So they're making fun of indigenous people's accents. Okay.
Hell yeah, they are.
I want everybody to know before we go.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we have to go soon.
We have to go soon. I put Etep Wanawanakui's link in the chat. I'm also putting Immortal Coil. He goes with the savage perspective. Guys, show him some love and just stop by for a few minutes if you plan on going over to Etep. Stop by and check out Immortal Coil. It'd be nice to see a couple people in there. I'm going to jump over there for a few minutes afterwards once he starts if I'm still awake. And I hope everybody had fun tonight. All of you.
Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Yes. Does anybody have anything they need to plug? I know the Sam and Nick McCabe channel. I'd like to plug that.
Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Go watch a video of ours. You can find us on YouTube, Nick and Sam McCabe. Set up a playlist. Watch it on mute in the background. Doesn't really matter. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and make sure you subscribe to everyone on this panel as well because they're all awesome. And I agree with you, Cavitania. You should look up Sugar Gliders because they're adorable.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, fuckholes, don't get subscribed. Watch the content. That's what we're getting to.
Yeah. Wow. I'll look at you sideways otherwise.
Wait to make friends with your audience there, man.
Yeah, right?
No, it's Inside Baseball.
Oh,
Grant gets it.
Inside Baseball doing it on my show. Thanks.
Yep.
Okay. What is this one? Hold on before we go.
Come on, Culture. You got to know where that's from.
I do, but I'm not saying.
I love not checking these things out before I let you guys show me videos. So let's
waffle video.
All right, hold on.
You enjoyed getting monetized with this channel the first time.
I did enjoy it. Wait a minute. It's not, dude, don't tell me it's a blue waffle. I will not put that on my channel. Right? Okay, hold on.
Keep fucking my wife's mouth!
Please, Lord, I'm going to, okay? Okay. Jada, I love you. Can't wait to see it, all right?
They're all shot.
Oh, man.
Just remember they're not like us.
Don't glide.
Yeah, well, they're kind of flying squirrel-like.
No, they fall. They fall and they just film it.
Sweet
they fall with style, like Buzz Lightyear.
Yes, Nick is right.
Little, cute.
They are very cute.
What are we talking about?
Sugar gliders.
What's a sugar glider?
Are you serious?
It's kind of like a cross between a chipmunk and a squirrel.
Yeah,
Scott, do 4 or 5 of those a day back in the 80s and 90s.
Do they not let you go, like, when you were in elementary school, did they not take you to animal places, like a zoo?
You mean jail, prison for animals? You're such a Nazi.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Well, how far are you mad for? I think you just got over 700 subscribers, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Congratulations on that, buddy. I hope you hit 1,000.
Thank you.
I didn't realize there were 700 people like that.
I know, right?
We were working really hard to make bad. I can't even get through it.
That was great.
You can get some good entertainment there. Just check out Mad Barber Entertainment.
That was.
It's such a lie. You can't even get through it.
That needs to be clipped. Please, somebody clip that for Mad Barber Entertainment commercial.
Yeah,
Tommy, where are you?
It was very subtle.
Hey everybody, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. You can find me over on my channel Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern, and of course Thursdays at 7:45 p.m. Eastern with United Underground Presents Collectible Pass with Vinny Tardamella. Having fun talking about retro toys. One other thing I would like to bring to light right now, everybody out there, don't forget about Drew Supreme Heretic. If you can, be sure to share out the link for his mother's final expenses, because unfortunately there was no will. There was no kind of life insurance policy, so he's being stuck with a pretty big bill that he's got to foot for taking care of her. So if you guys can't at least donate, at least share it out there so more eyeballs are on it, so he can actually get that money he needs to get through this terrible time.
I added his tweet. I'm sorry, but I added the tweet he put out into the chat, guys. Please, if you can't send money, please retweet. Go ahead, Culture Casino, with what you
I
have.
was just going to say, on top of that, there is some benefit to donating. I think at a certain level, I think it's $100. Tommy, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, $100.
Yeah, there are T-shirts that he is offering, his channel T-shirts, as part of helping him out. Like I said, I mean, he's in a bad situation. Again, probate's a pain in the butt if you guys
hell, dude.
And so he just needs as much help as he can. He's got to get through about 3 months of stuff. So let's do our very best to help Drew. I'm going to keep promoting it as I go, and I think we all should. He's a great guy.
I also want to say thank you to Eric K. Awesome one. All my moderators out there, you guys are freaking awesome. Thank you for slumming it with us. Some of you bigger mods that help out bigger channels. I really,
dude,
really appreciate them.
That's rough, bro.
What's that?
You were fat shaming your moderators? That's rough.
First of all, I'm fat, so stop talking about fat shaming, you hairy beast. Jane, you have anything to plug? Any videos out?
Yeah, I did post a video on Zoe Kravitz getting canceled.
Oh no!
Over what she said, right? She said something about Jaden's. Right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, never mind. Yep.
They dug up some old inappropriate comments that she made regarding Jaden when he was a kid or whatever, and it's Hollywood eating Hollywood.
Well, that's right. Will's on his way over there to slap her.
You know why they went after her is because she went in. She went hard in the paint against Will.
And it wasn't even that hard. It was just
anything against anybody is hard in the paint.
They attack. They brought
see how great they raised their kids.
But it's weird that one of the things I pointed out in my video is that it's weird that she got away with it. I went back and I looked at some articles at the time.
Yeah. How long ago was that? Because she's not that old, right?
It was like 2013 or so. And they said then, like, this is really weird. You shouldn't have said that about a kid. But it just got glossed over.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, Soul Assassin will cancel Zoe Kravitz on the Batmobile any day. So thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Culture, you have anything you need to plug? Did I miss anybody else?
Me. All I got was like a mention of me.
Oh, and sharing out your amazing video as a friend, but whatever.
Okay, fine. Forget it. No, it's too late. I already turned off most of my lights.
Okay, great. Culture?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for the opportunity to hang out with all these amazing people on this panel. I think this is always a fun show, and if we could never talk again about what happened at the Oscars, I will be so happy.
Oh, hey, Scott, you forgot about me. Scott, you forgot about me.
I was coming back.
You forgot about me, Scott.
I'll never forget.
I'm not interrupting Culture on purpose. Who's Grant? I'm sorry. Oh, Culture.
Hey,
I'm so sorry, Culture. I thought I was on mute. I'm sorry. I love you. You're great. It's not a weave, really. Well, maybe
tomorrow.
What won the poll? This is important though, Culture. I know you're like, but it's important. What won the poll? Because like this is gonna like.
Good question. Hold on. The poll 43% blue-footed booby with 40 votes in.
What? Really? I don't know what that is. Is that a thing?
Oh, look at you not knowing what it is. Jerk. Culture, did you have something you wanted to plug?
Yeah. So Grant has in his possession a video that is going to be interesting tomorrow. I think you guys will enjoy it. He'll edit it and get it posted for me tomorrow. Check that out. And do check out the 6 Minute Daily Monday through Friday, which is 10 minutes, 31 seconds long on average. So do check that out. And I'm going over to, I may be hanging out. It depends. I double booked myself. So I might be hanging out with Etep Ukawada Dushi. Or I'll be over on Floral Under a Rock's channel doing something else.
That's great. Jane, did you see the news? Did
What
you see
news?
House of the Dragon premieres August 21st?
They don't look like Targaryens.
They don't look like Targaryens.
They don't,
at all.
but we're going to cover it, Jane. My
Yes,
Monday
we
show.
are.
My Monday. Yeah, okay. My Monday show will become a House of the Dragon show. We're going to cover that shit.
Wait, you're not going to
thank God.
I'll take a break for those few weeks that
I'm so glad that I worked so hard on your
you can keep working hard. Culture, keep working hard.
Culture, make sure to never take off your glasses. People are giving you a hard time right now.
Why do your eyes look so weird, Culture?
Awesome one. Go to Awesome One.
Culture looks like those people that Scott think looks all the same now. Oh shit.
I'm Heinz 57, kids. I'm sorry. You know.
Oh, I freaking love it. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight.
It's weird how his lip and eyes disappear.
Yes.
Guys are mean.
Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. I'm all hyped up on cocaine.
What?
Caffeine. I'm so hyped up on caffeine.
Sounded like something else.
Nah, bruh. What, that yayo?
According to Christy, stands with Culture Casino. Good night, everybody.
Corey has.